Hey, everybody. Welcome. Oh, I see some friends waiting for me. I don't know if I'm going to let them in. Here we go. Hey, Sloopy. How you doing? David.
Hello.
Hey, Trina.
Hi, from the land of boxes.
Oh, my God. And I thought I had a lot of boxes. So, everybody, David's here. David is from the Florida Retro Computer Club.
Hey,
So,
David.
he's a local.
Hello, everyone.
And he also has a lot of good stuff. Welcome, Dave.
Thank you very much. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Very good.
Cool, Sloopy. You'll be happy because this is. Oh, and there's Joe. Hey, Joe. How you doing?
Good. Tired. How are you?
Hey, listen, don't stick that tongue out at me if you're not going to use it.
Here we go.
Behave, Trina.
Anyway.
At my age, it's the only thing that works.
Oh, my brain doesn't work. That's for damn sure.
Oh boy. Yeah, welcome to the club. So look at this, guys. I can go to my top cam. Let's see if it works. Hold on to your horses. It's I'm old and
I didn't know we were live. Oops.
Yeah, we're live.
Oh,
Yeah.
Here we go.
I'm used to professional streamers who have music to play for an intro.
Well, I can sing if you want.
Or they have people in a pre-show where they talk about what's going to happen during the show and such.
Right.
And everyone comes in more than 2 minutes before the show starts.
Yeah.
Right?
I should do that, boot everybody and talk and all that. But hey, whatever.
Javier, it still doesn't look natural to see you with anything other than an apple. I have to tell you.
Actually, I feel really weird.
It feels weird to me, too.
Don't even start me on that. I feel already very weird. But, the story is like this, and David will attest to this. A few years ago, we've been doing meetings here in the Florida community.
Matings?
Yeah.
Meeting face to face.
Meetings. Oh.
Shut up. With people, real people. And one of those people was this guy called Steve Strawbridge.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Stevie. Yeah.
Yeah, Stevie. He's such a nice person. So he's a coconut, and he brought his cocos, and I was always like, oh my God, color computer, blah blah blah. When he showed it to me, I was like, well, this is kind of nice. And then he began to show all the cool stuff that they have done for it, and I was like, damn, I think I was not really informed. And long story short, I fell in love with a Coco, but I've been looking for one, but I always find 1 and 2s. And I remember very good. I told Steve, "Hey, Steve, if I'm gonna have one, which one do you recommend me?" He told me the 3, definitely the 3, but it's very difficult to get. It's like the GS, the Apple GS of the Tandys.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh. So I've been looking and looking, and every time it comes out, it's like, they're like shady. I don't know. So finally, I went to VCF a week ago, and almost 2 weeks ago. And a friend of mine, Alex, he came. I went to his place, and he was just showing some stuff. And I say, "What the hell is that in the back?" I say, "Oh, it's a Coco, and it's a brand new one." I was like, "What?" He said, "Yeah,
Looks new.
inbox, never been used."
Oh my God.
So I was like, I almost fell over there, and I was like, oh, I almost fainted. They gotta give me the the little vapors to wake me up and all that.
I believe I have the vapors.
Okay. And then he told me, yeah, I'm you're my friend. I'm gonna give you a special price. So I was like, oh yeah,
triple what it would normally sell for.
exactly. Yeah. You know my friends how they are. Starting with Joe, yeah, exactly. So anyway,
I charged him to design 3D designs for me, so
That's right. So the box is almost immaculate. For its age, it's in real good shape.
Looks perfect.
Real good shape. A little bit bent, a little thing over here, but
Oh.
nothing. It's very, very good. So opening it up. I'm sorry, but my camera is way too close. But whatever.
You should make yourself. You should make yourself big, Javier.
Oh yeah, I should
Yeah.
make myself big. Why not?
I mean,
Oh,
it's your stream.
There. Okay.
It
It was
is
making
my
it.
stream. Hold on. There you go.
Okay.
CompuServe.
I want my friends to be next to me, so hold on. I cannot see my screen. Jeez. There you go.
Okay.
So anyway, it comes with CompuServe, all the paperwork, Oh, I gotta fill out the owner registration card because I got a special offer.
You can't see.
Did you?
it.
Did
I'm
you
I
have?
gotta this is very important. I gotta complete and return, so I need it right away.
Did you have to fill? Did you have to get a home equity loan to purchase it?
Actually, I did. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And there's some software that I can order. Wow.
You
And
do know that.
CompuServe.
Yeah, you do know
I
that
should
the
join
original.
this.
Hang on, Javier. Hold up that phone number again. I want to call them and see what we get.
Okay.
1-800.
Druidia. Oh wait.
No,
You
no.
do know-
Hold up the phone number again, Javier.
This one 1-800-321-3133.
967, babe.
3133.
All
Okay, I'm
free.
gonna put them. I'm gonna put them on speaker.
So you do know that the original Mac had a 6809, and this is what the Macintosh could have been.
Oh, really?
Information
Yeah.
regarding the number you dialed. Please hold.
The
Again,
6809
please hold for more
Isn't
information.
it as an upgrade though? Or does it come natively?
You have reached the new mobile
I mean,
directory
it's
service.
6809.
The number you have
Sorry.
reached has changed.
So I know there's a lot of people who swap the CPUs in those.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
6309. Yes.
6309, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a lot of people who swap the CPUs eventually.
Yeah. The 6309 from Hitachi.
Yeah.
It runs cooler, and it actually has extensions, because what had originally happened was Hitachi was supposed to be a second source from Motorola for the 6809. Well, they asked Motorola if they could make extensions to it, and they're like, no, you just have a license to make a second source for the 6809. Well,
So
they-
this rainbow magazine that you're flipping through, is that still in publication?
no.
That's what
March 1990.
No,
I don't
it's not.
think
Oh, okay,
so.
never mind. Okay.
But yeah, so they so what Hitachi did was they released the 6309 with the additions, but just didn't tell anyone. And some very smart people in Japan figured out that, hey, there's something different about the 6309 versus the 6809, and found out that there's a lot of there was a lot of different things in there, additions that were quite useful and such, which makes it between, I think, 20 and 30% faster. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Curtis would know.
It's a nice little upgrade.
Wow.
And
They
I noticed,
also-
Javier, I noticed your magazine is from 1990. So this is probably a very late model Coco 3. Because Coco 3, I think, was discontinued around 90-91. So this is probably one of the later models, or
Oh,
later,
wow.
later versions of the model. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, Alex found it in he told me that it was like a game store, like a GameStop,
Okay.
and they
How
had
the
like
hell
two
did
or
it end up
three.
at GameStop?
Yeah. And they had a couple of them, and he bought them all, and
Yeah.
of course he kept one, and he took another one to sell.
Yeah. Curtis says that the Rainbow went from July of 81 until May of 93.
Wow. So yeah, this is really late.
Wow. Okay.
So look, let's
No
take it out.
writing required on that one.
None of my Coco 3s are in boxes.
Has
Well,
it ever been used, Javier? Or
Nope, never.
wow.
So before I open, look, it's everything is in still in wrap.
That's good.
Wow.
Familiar face.
So we're unboxing
Little
live.
ASMR session here.
Unboxing event.
Sorry, all I can think of is we had a protest today against LGBTQ people in schools. Basically our 1 million mums or whatever they're called. And all I can think of is about indoctrination, and we have the rainbow all over these books. We have a
So what's going
magazine
on?
called The Rainbow, and it's not from yesterday.
That's right. That's right. So yeah, you can tell them, hey, it's been here for a while.
Yeah,
But look,
exactly.
wow, brand
Those books are
spanking
great.
new.
Ooh.
Ooh,
That is
they
very
smell
nice.
new.
All the ones I've seen have been pretty beat up.
All hail the
Yeah.
pious tome.
Yeah, these are really nice.
Yeah.
They were well done. I mean, if you look through them, you'll see the illustrations are kind of cool, and they're nice little handbooks.
Can I interrupt real quick?
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
Javier, do you need a 6309 to upgrade your Coco?
I suppose.
Because I have spares.
Ooh, hook me up.
Yeah, I have 40 of them.
I love how Joe's like, Javier, can I interrupt? And I'm like, yeah,
I
go
was
ahead.
trying not to be so forward, but
Yeah. Just know if
Hey,
my
you know.
memory serves me well, Javier, I don't think the CPU is socketed though, so that will at least require a full desoldering.
Well, we'll find out in a minute. So let's finish this. So
That's cool.
yeah,
I'm gonna
Joe.
make a lot of noise.
Do you have a 512K upgrade for it?
Who, me?
Oh, okay.
I have a 2 meg upgrade I'm about to install in mine.
I think I got a 512K upgrade from some third-party reseller. I remember installing like some additional board in there, or like a
Yeah.
regular board, or
Yeah.
that was a couple of years ago.
Looks like this.
I mean,
Where's my
it's a little
friggin'
different. That's an original, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. I think I bought like some kind of third-party, new board.
Tell us, Adam,
either-
tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, you either got a triad or a
Triad. That's it. Triad. Yeah.
Adam wants to know what toy store you bought this from.
I didn't. I bought it from a friend, but he got it from.
No, he means that this is not a real computer.
because he's Adam.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Sorry.
That's an elegant computer.
Mouse.
Yeah,
Oh,
and
it's so pretty.
I have a 8 meg RAM upgrade
Mouse.
for it.
Ooh,
Oh wow.
that's a lot of RAM.
I have 16. I have 32. I have 64. The trash
talking-
is spoken. Man.
No, you
I'm
don't.
talking 16 megs, not K.
I have a 2 gig stick of DDR3. Does that count for anything?
Not compatible.
Oh, I won't be able to open it because it says
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
it will void
128K.
my guarantee.
Yeah, it's a 128K machine then.
Yep. That's the original, out of the box.
And it's double insulated.
Yep.
Gotta keep it insulated. Hey!
And there's RGB out.
Oh, yeah. You just need a special monitor for it, though. Well,
Oh,
ideally.
but I'm sure nowadays they got like adapters and all and such.
I would
It's
think so.
standard,
There is.
you just need a cable to plug into it,
Yep.
like that.
Oh. Okay. Oh, look. Yeah. Joe was showing something like a box.
Well, what is I think is it the Tandy CM8? That's kind of the ideal monitor. Is that, I think, one of those RGB?
That's the one that was originally made for it, but any RGB 15 kilohertz monitor will work.
With provided you have the cable adapter. Yeah.
Yeah,
I need to get a joystick for this.
your best bet would be to get the cable from Coco Man. It comes out to a SCART connector.
Oh yeah, I saw Coco Man. I actually talked to him, and he told me, that I should get that one. Where do you connect it? Down here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's RGB, and then the RF and the composite are on the back.
Okay, yeah. And I saw that it comes with an RF that I'm not even going to take it out of here. But yeah,
It has a monitor output.
Yeah.
But it's not very sharp.
Yeah, I heard that I would be very, very disappointed on the quality.
Yeah.
But anyway, we will test it.
Now, I don't know if you guys have had that experience with the Cocos, but I've already had a bit of an overheating of the PSU. The PSU always get pretty hot. I don't know if it's mine specifically with something about to fail, but it gets pretty hot in there.
Oh, wow. So let me see. Now that I need it, I can't find my composite cable. So give me 1 second.
I don't know how to install this thing.
What thing?
I don't know, whatever this is in this order I got from Cloud9 3 years ago that has just been sitting up here.
Is your Coco 128K?
Sure.
remove the four 4164s or the
These right here?
4464s. Yeah, remove those four, and then there's two capacitors, 65 and 66, above and below them.
Yeah.
Remove them, and then just put the board into the sockets.
Why do you have to remove the capacitors? Are they just in the way?
No,
They
there's
do stuff to the signal. Got it.
Javier, this will work better if you plug it in.
Yeah, well, I'm making sure that also my
Just like
video
that,
is
right?
plugged in. Alrighty, here goes nothing. I'm afraid because it's so old.
It's fine.
It'll turn on and be just fine. There's like almost no electrolytics in it at all. And they're like the big chonkers that just don't fail.
Right.
Yeah, that's the failing part is what I'm afraid of.
Nah, you're good.
Here we go.
And it works with Javier. Here goes nothing.
Look at that.
Look, and it works perfectly first time.
We got
That's it.
extended call basic 2. Oh yeah, the video is pretty crappy.
And now you can't do anything because you have no hardware or software to use with it.
Well, I'm waiting for Sloopy. He sent me a cartridge. He's gonna loan me one.
I found it this morning.
So just like
Yeah.
that, Sloopy, right?
Yep.
Just goes in there, but I got to take those RAM chips out and clip those two
Yep.
capacitors. Okay, easy peasy.
Mm-hmm.
Can I just
So should
clip
I
the
open
one
it?
side of the capacitor and leave it in there in case I want to restore it?
Yes.
Okay.
Nice.
Well, wasn't there like one of those funny commands you could enter to see?
Oh yeah. Hold down Control, Alt, and hit the reset button on the back.
Either once or twice, I don't remember.
On the right side. There you go.
Oh,
There you go.
yeah, but it disappeared. Oh, my cable maybe?
Maybe a cable.
Oh, it shows the it's like a bitmap picture
The
of the
three
creator.
amigos.
Map of the creators or something.
What happened?
You broke it.
Actually,
there you
there was a joke. It's actually a killer poke. You just fried the.
Oh.
Right.
Ah,
I
Well-
wouldn't be surprised.
Javier, now that you've broken it, I think you should send it to Joe.
Yeah, it's there. I think it's the cable.
Yeah, it's a cable.
Yeah.
so I also have the Protector MMU that just goes in the CPU socket. And the
Yeah.
CPU goes on top of it, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
The main use for it is the extra addressing bits for the 2 meg.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe also the monitor is not that good. You know, it's one
like-
of those.
Basically, it's a bank switcher ROM or bank switcher thingy doodle.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, I
pretty
have to
cool,
remove
though.
the old RAM. I forgot to.
Yeah. The 512 is bank switched, and then it can extend that bank switching up to fully up to 8 megs.
Reboot the computer. 1-bit Fever Dreams gave you a what to type in.
Okay, I just rebooted. Hold on, let me.
Yeah.
Let me
Those
get out of
3
here.
people. Yeah, those 3 people are the ones that modified the original Microsoft Basic for the Coco 3. They from Microware. Oh, yeah, it's a full MMU, but because you can swap any 8K block in any order with the 64K RAM.
Oh, I see. It's got an Altera on the back of it to do the magic. Yeah.
Oh, there's a delete.
Is there a reason they gave me an extra socket?
Oh,
For the CPU?
Well, my CPU socketed, so I don't need it, I guess.
oh.
Javier, let me guess. You never took typing lessons, did you?
That is correct. And I am not.
What's your first
I
impression
took
of the
design
keyboard?
instead of typing.
Yeah, it's like Javier's like, I know how to art.
That's right.
So Javier, what's your first impression of the keyboard?
It is good.
Yes.
Better than the Apple IIc, the first one.
I don't know for sure.
Yeah, unfortunately, I have to go because my son came to return my vehicle.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
all right,
See ya,
Luke.
Soupy.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, I should be
Absolutely.
back. Yeah, I should be back in about 20 minutes, half hour at most.
We'll be here.
Okay.
I will see you then. If you have any questions, ask Curtis. And
All right.
try to get him on the show because he can answer everything. He's the Cocopedia, and he's also the news person for the Coco Nation.
Do you? Hey, before you go, Sloopy, do you have a contact for him?
For Curtis,
Yeah.
He's
in
on the. He's on
he's
the.
in the chat.
No. But I'm saying if you wanted to send him an invite link, as
Oh,
he knows
he's,
what's going on.
He's on. He's on Discord.
Yeah, I'm gonna order a Coco SDC, but I want to first try it.
And
That's why I asked Sloopy to lend me one.
And I sent him the StreamYard link. You just got to convince him to come because he always talks about how he's busy with work, so
Well,
he can't do
yeah,
anything.
Lies.
Hey, Ryan.
So
Yay, my upgrade's done, I think.
Hey, Ryan.
Javier, I believe also I've seen some people do some kind of mechanical keyboard upgrade on those.
yes.
Good.
I'm sorry. It feels good.
These foam foil.
Oh, it's very nice. The upgrade keyboard. It's from Computer Connect, I think, with just one end. It's done by Rick Euland. I actually have it in one of my Coco 3s, and it feels beautiful.
Yeah, it's a nice upgrade.
Well, it feels pretty good.
Yeah, it's not a bad keyboard. It's just the this keyboard feels much better.
So what should
Yeah,
I do
well,
with the?
yeah.
Sorry, I keep interrupting. I apologize.
No worries.
I was gonna say, what should I do with the MT RAM that came out of this? Just burn it in the fire,
Burn it.
Use it for something else.
like burning.
Like burning. Like your fire.
Put it in another machine. That's what I
Like-
usually do.
One that doesn't already work because the MT is gonna fail.
Yeah, NT fails. Shall I
Maybe
open it,
let's
guys?
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unplug it first, though.
Yeah, unplug it because it has open connections for the 120 volts AC.
Stick
That's
your
why-
fingers in it.
That's why if you'll
Yeah.
notice on the top, the vent grills don't go over the transformer because people would drop things in the Coco 2 and it would short out the transformer.
Wow.
Transformers.
No worries. Robots in disguise. Let me. I'm gonna make some noise. Hold on.
All right.
Let me mute myself.
I'll be back.
The label.
So Joe,
What?
if you look at the screen for a sec.
Yeah.
What do you think
Yeah.
of my recent gets?
I think you are a goddess.
Oh. And apparently that made me choke to death.
Goddess.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's a Game Grumps reference. Yes, just like it's epic. It's like I need 4 tables of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't have 4 tables of room in my apartment.
No.
Are you sleeping on top of the boxes?
No, thankfully I still have a bedroom. So and the bed isn't covered. It's all out here.
Yet. That's what we call a goal.
No, the goal is to keep the bedroom semi-computer free.
Yes.
Good job. You're really filling that up very well.
Javier knows what he's doing when it comes to that stuff. He's a
Oh,
god.
there's a screw
Guys!
underneath. I was wondering why he's peeling it up. There's a screw underneath it.
Or label peeler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
All
Joe,
right.
did you just happen to have a Coco on hand, Joe, or have you had a Coco for a long time?
What, this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had this for ever.
Oh, yeah.
I've turned it on twice. Maybe 3 times. I'm just not a Coco guy.
Yeah, it's a whole community around Cocos.
You will.
Mouse goes into left or right joystick? Probably.
Let's see. I never opened one of these, so let's see if I.
It's really easy.
Oh, okay. Oh, this is Curtis. Okay. Yeah, hang on, Curtis. Let me. Sorry, I didn't realize it was Curtis from the other chat.
There's Curtis.
Is he
Hey,
on?
Curtis. Oh, yeah.
Curtis, he is here.
Let him.
Don't
Okay,
you know
I'm
he wants
letting
to
him in.
drink some beer.
I just
Hello.
made the
Hello.
live stream
Sorry,
here.
I
There we go.
just saw your message in the Taylor and Amy Discord. So sorry.
Yeah, no, Slippy got a hold of me too. So
Right. Okay.
I don't need an excuse to get away from work.
Yeah, that's good. Welcome. Thank you for coming in.
Yeah, I will mention though, I'm not as much of a hardware guy, more of a software guy. I know some of the history and stuff too, but if you guys are looking for specific hardware tips, I'm not the right one.
Well, I'm a noob, so I don't know nothing. I think, David, you have some Cocos, isn't it?
I have one Coco, and
Okay.
that one. Yeah. So with the processor upgrade and the memory upgrade and a few accessories, I ended up getting like definitely the Coco SDC, which is the
Wow.
That's the top thing to get.
yeah, $50
Definitely.
I think it is, and it's a very
No,
fast-
it's more than that.
Is it more than that now?
A lot. It's double.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
no, it's like 75
My
plus
Coco is broken.
I don't know if,
shipping and more things.
I may have paid
Yeah, it depends where you get it too, because you can get a Coco SDC in Canada from Retro Rewind, or you can get it from Zipster Zone too. So
I mean, that is the one required accessory for this. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a very,
for any Coco, because that's basically
Good deal.
it's a floppy emulator, a hard drive emulator, plus some extra commands added into. So
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a great deal. And then, like any collector, I ended up getting the MPI and a Tandy CM8 because I'm crazy about, making it look original. But the Coco is by
dumb.
far the best value.
I got a neck multi-sync too on one of mine.
Yeah, I mean, that looks sharp. It's a cool setup, It's
Yeah.
That is in like look at how clean that
Well,
is.
this is brand new, It's,
Yeah.
it's in perfect condition.
Well,
Hey,
quote
put
unquote.
it out in the sun so it turns yellow.
No, not yet.
And then put it back out in the sun so you can get it white again.
That's right.
actually, I wonder, do those turn very yellow? I don't. I'm trying to remember if I saw very.
Some
yellow.
do, yeah. It depends on sun exposure for the most part.
Because I knew that's kind of a later model, right? We're talking probably about.
Yeah, maybe the plastics, they look.
They did change the plastics because I know the last batches, especially in Australia, they stay white forever. Like they don't
That's
yellow
what I'm
at all.
thinking. Because this one, I would assume is probably from 1990,
Yeah.
potentially, because the magazine that was in it is from 1990. So,
Yeah.
who knows?
Yeah, I'm guessing you have the second generation gimme chip in there because it'll say 1987 instead of 1986. They did some timing patches to it. That's a square chip on the motherboard.
This one.
That's
So this is the
graphics,
one
the
that I
MMU, and a bunch of stuff. Sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry, this is the one that I gotta remove.
It says MC68B09E on it. Yep.
MB28727. Oh yeah, 6B B09 EP. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a 2 megahertz 6 out of 9 Motorola.
Okay.
The Hitachi ones run a lot cooler. Aside from all the extra functions Sleepy was talking about, they also only draw 10% the power, so it'll drop the heat in the case quite a bit too.
Yeah. I'll do that. Joe's gonna send me the
Hitachi.
replacement.
Hitachi.
Hitachi.
There's also a lot of cool little software titles that are still being written for.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm directly involved in a few of those.
You are.
Well, you are?
Weren't you involved in one of those games that came out maybe a couple years ago? It was like one of those planes that was like going up and down. Am I confusing you with someone else?
He just left.
Yeah, that's Nick Morenti's
Oh,
who does it when I help beta test it. But
Right. I remember that.
Nice.
And
So who's here?
he comes in and says the answer and then pops out.
Wow. You disconnected for a sec, Curtis.
oh, sorry. Can you hear me again?
Yeah.
I probably bumped the cable with my leg
That's
here.
good.
It's kind of loosey goosey.
We keep losing, like your whole video goes down.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
That was weird.
Somehow it's all Javier's fault.
No, yeah. Blame it on me.
Well,
Maybe it's my browser.
I mean, no. We're happy if Javier knows his name most days.
Me too.
So it is Javier's fault, really.
It is what it is.
But if you
Yeah.
do put a 6 or a 9 in there, some of the optimized 6 or 9 games, I did do those, and I'm also one of the main authors for Nitrous 9.
My Coco's sad.
Why?
Last time I used it, it worked. Now it's just a black screen.
Does it click the motor relay when you turn it on?
Yes.
That means it's trying to boot the ROM okay then. In fact, if you plug it in with the keyboard plugged in and you blindly type motor on, it should click the relay again after you turn it on. And if that works, that means BASIC's working, probably some of the RAM's working.
That's pretty nice.
This is the right stream to be doing this in.
Yeah.
Maybe I should go get mine. Make sure it turns on still.
Yeah, do it.
Mine over here
While
still
we're
turns
at
on
it.
just fine, but I don't have it on at the
Let me
moment.
tell you, last time I turned it on, it actually took a couple of seconds to see something on the screen. I think it took 2 attempts, actually.
If
So
you have
what
one of
are
the
you
big
on
memory
all one
upgrades, it'll
word?
take a bit because the static RAM takes a while to
Maybe
get
that's
going.
what it was. Yeah.
What are these ports for?
That's for the 512K upgrade.
Oh,
There should be 2 rows of them. And it's basically a satellite board that plugs in.
Yeah.
Now I have a white screen.
well, at least it's changed.
You need a green screen upgrade, Joe.
Yeah, that's the
What is
second
it?
row. That's the two rows of pins that go to the 512 or 1 meg, 2 meg, 8 meg. And those 4 chips right by your finger in a row right beside the left set of pins connector there.
Yep.
Yep, that's the old 464 128K RAM
Yes.
chips.
So what happened, Joe?
I don't know. I turned it off and on and reset it a couple times, and now it's fine.
That's just like Windows.
Yeah.
Joe,
Turn it off and on, it might
you
work.
know what? What do you have to do?
Ship it to you. No, wait.
That's
it with a
one
hammer.
little wimpy hammer.
Hit it with a hammer. Hit it with a hammer. Hit it with a hammer. Gonna hit it with a hammer.
So the extended color basic 2, is that the only version available in ROM, or are they later versions of that?
No, that's the last version. Extended Basic 1.0 and 1.1 for the Coco 1 and 2, and then 2 was for the Coco 3 with all the extra graphics modes and stuff. Oh, have you tested the sound on yours yet? Just make sure that works.
No. Oh, let me. You're right.
Just type in like sound 1,10 or something like that,
Oh.
and you can.
First, let me connect it to sound.
Yeah, you don't have the audio connected, do you?
I don't have the audio connected now.
But does it have a stereo output?
Oh no.
There was an optional card for that, the Orchestra 90, similar to the Orchestra 85 on the Terra City Model 1.3.
But so natively it doesn't have stereo output, or does
No,
it?
just a 6-bit DAC.
Okay.
You can play mod files on it with Coco SDC or something like that, or
Hold
just
on.
drive wire.
Hold on. Where did I leave that?
But you're pretty well pegging the CPU to do that because there's no actual sound chip. It's just a raw DAC.
Yeah.
Let me try it. First of all, let me put another.
Kind of like an Apple III, but useful.
Andre, if you're wondering about me, Rainbow magazines, most of these binders I got on the shelf behind me, that's all rainbows. But almost the complete collection. I'm missing some of the early
Yeah,
couple
working
years.
now.
Sorry,
Sure.
when I saw Rainbow magazine, my gay brain just went, "Oh, it's something to do with Pride." And apparently it's
Nope.
not.
That was way before I think Pride even chose the rainbow as a symbol.
That's right.
So,
Okay, so how do I test it?
I just type in like sound 100,10 or something, and it should do a little beep.
It says as an error.
Oh, sound, you got to put the value of the tone and the value of the length. So just put sound 10, 100 or something like that.
Yeah. Ain't worky now. It make Joe happy.
nothing.
Is it-
Nothing, but
something
let me
else?
see. Maybe my volume is down. No, volume is up, all the way up.
And you didn't get a
Oh, well,
syntax error
here-
that time?
Hold on, I put it sound space 10. Is that okay? Let me
Yeah,
turn
no,
off.
10, 100. That should have worked. It doesn't matter if you have a space there or not.
Oh, okay.
Try it all as one. Try it all as one row, like one run on
Okay.
run on sentence. I don't know.
Mine works.
Yeah, I can hear that.
All right, Javier, it doesn't work, so I'll give you $10 for it.
Yeah.
I think
Where's me sound?
maybe it's
I
a
need
bad cable.
sound.
Is it a bad cable? Maybe.
Maybe it has to be in the
Cable.
white one. Do it again.
Can you press the up arrow key to recall a command?
Not on the standard basic. In Nitrous 9 you can.
Okay.
Mm,
No, no sound.
$5.
That's weird.
Sounds controlled by one of the two PIAs. So, I mean, if there's something wrong with the PIA, that might cause that. Or, like you said, bad cable or something.
Well, it's supposed to be brand
I don't remember
spanking
how to
new.
control it.
Try another
'Cause I'm
cable.
old and
Javier.
dumb.
Is that an Apple cable, Javier?
Yep.
How dare you?
Well, that's why it's pre-broke already. I'm not just kidding.
Hilarious.
Maybe that's why.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it might be. Try
It
another
should be just a
cable,
standard
Javier.
RCA jack cable. So,
Yeah, it needs Radio Shack RCA cables.
Yeah.
I don't think I even have Radio Shack RC cables on mine.
None of that fancy Apple cabling.
Oh, hey, Retro
Anything
Pussy.
non-Apple.
That's not what I wanted to do, but okay.
You did it anyway.
What did you do? I didn't see.
I accidentally hit enter instead of arrow because of the key.
Oh, you're running Xenix? Or yeah, there you go. That's a good game.
Somebody suggested the last time I ran this Coco 3 years ago, and so did it ended up on the SDC.
Yeah. You have a joystick? Because you'll need that too.
I do, and it's garbage.
Has to be
So you
a,
got one of the Black
Actually,
Beauties?
trying to run Nitros.
has to be a Tandy joystick.
I'm not saying anything about your joystick being garbage, Joe.
Yeah.
Did they ever come
Maybe.
out with an adapter to be able to use like Atari style
Yeah.
joysticks?
Yeah, those were sold like crazy in the 82, 83, and then you can find schematics for those all over the place online.
Very good.
Now, some games require the analog controls, though, so those will not play too well, like Colorpede or, one of Centipede clones. It's relative because it's got 64 positions. So wherever you place it relatively is where it shows up on the screen. So if you move it 3/4 of the way over, it's 3/4 of the way over on the screen. And if you try to use a switch-based joystick like an Atari one, you'll just jump from the middle to the ends and nothing in between.
I can't read that because I need my RGB. Stand by.
Is that Nitrous 9?
Yeah.
If you type display, that's a big long line. I'd have to probably type in the chat for you. You can change it to 40 columns is what I'm basically saying.
I can also just get my upscaler and connect it to my RGB output and make it VGA, and then I can see it.
Oh, Javier,
Yes.
Ryan is going to fax you some Radio Shack cables.
Good. Because I
Fax.
need it.
Fax them.
Although I have the feeling that's not a cabling issue, but
I thought I had.
Oh, Joe, you should grab the ease of use version of Nitrous 9. It's a lot more user friendly and a lot more pre-set up.
Just to answer Eric's question to me, I have no idea why it would come with thermal paste if there's nowhere to put it. Your guess is as good as mine. I mean, unless you want to take off
No.
while you have the fan off, unless you want to take off the CPU cooler and reheat sink it.
Does that need power as well? It does.
That's my only guess.
Probably 5 volts.
Sorry, Javier.
Well, sounds like my sound is not working.
Well, you have an offer of $5 right now.
Yeah, and it's dropping. Every time I see something not working, it's dropping.
It's getting drop. Okay.
I'm losing confidence.
There you go.
Hey, listen.
VGA.
It's a. Oh, I cannot put was, but I can put look, and I know what I have. No low balls.
Well, the CIB or NOS label is definitely.
Zach Pin, see if I have activity in the scope. Oh, forget it. 1-bit fever. I don't have a scope, and I don't have activity. I'll kill myself before I can see anything like that. So.
I will mention the RGB connector on the bottom does have one of the pins of sound. I don't know which one it is, but that drove the CM8 monitor. So if it's just the connectors screwed up, you might be able to tap it off one of those pins. I don't know which one it is, though. Sleepy would know that kind of stuff.
Hey, Javier, I'm not familiar with this, streaming interface. But is it possible to share a screen or not?
Yep. Yeah, there's a thing that says present over there, all the way down.
Yeah. I'm going to show you
Okay.
my setup, if I may. Let's see. To share screen, I guess.
This is hilarious.
No.
So I'm looking up Nitros 9 information, and Curtis, one of the first hits is your website.
Hopefully. I'm one of the people that created it in the first place as a commercial product back in '92. So.
Well, there you go. That's it. What's it? Ha! That's awesome.
Let me share.
Show you how little I know.
Sorry.
Oh, trust me. Every time you talk, we see how little you know.
Hey, Trina.
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you too.
This thing is hot over here. This black thing.
Yeah.
Is that normal? Okay.
Yeah. That's why it's a big heat sink to make that chip it's connected to not as hot. Remove it and watch fire occur.
Ooh.
Well,
fire.
I am not used to fire, so don't tempt me.
Fire, bad.
Yeah, I remember. I got a lot of issues when I burned an Atari.
That's like me being rather infamous for trying to solder my hair.
But Javier, just remove that heatsink and just put in liquid cooling.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
That's an idea. Or a big fan. What about that?
No. Liquid cool. I mean, something this new, you got to liquid cool it. Come on.
Yeah.
Javier, you don't have a TV with RF capability, like the RF switch or anything like that, because if the sound comes through that as well, I'm just wondering if it's the actual chip or if it's just the connector.
I actually have an antenna input, and I have where is it?
Just trying to help you narrow down whether it's a chip problem or a...
Yeah, but I need the adapter for this, the little...
Oh, yeah, the little screw-on.
The key question, Javier, is are you going to RGB this one?
Yeah, I'm going to RGB it.
Yeah, that's my site, Joe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think I saw you on BCF, isn't it?
Ken of Canadian Retro Things was demoing Nitros 9 at his booth.
Okay, yeah. So maybe him, yeah. Yeah, I talked to somebody about Coco, so I was not. Again, I just saw it in the box, and this is the first time I touch it, so.
I'll be right back. I'm just going to get some water.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that amazes me about the Coco is, once again, how vibrant the community is around that system.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's a whole other world around Cocos.
Yeah, we talked about that on the show. Like, it was one that a lot of the hardware hackers and software hackers seem to get attracted to. It wasn't as much of a game machine. I mean, there's plenty of great games on it, but
yeah, proportionally,
we seem to have a lot more people that were more like, how can I modify the ROM? How can I upgrade this way past what Tandy said? That type of thing. That seems to be the base of the community.
I mean, not every system has that kind of community around it. I think that makes it very special.
Yeah, loony fanatics, we call them.
No, it's true. Not everybody's got that.
And it's funny that there's people even in Australia in the group and all that. So it's all over the world.
Yeah, like Tandy, Intertan was the subsidiary or whatever. I can't remember the technical weight was linked with Tandy, but basically they handled everything outside the U.S. They did Canada, they did Europe, they did England, they did Australia. But when the Coco 3 came out, Tandy was getting fussy as to what markets they would sell in because they sales had kind of tapered off. There was a lot of competition in Europe. So the only 3 countries that actually got the Coco 3 was Canada, the U.S., and Australia.
Oh.
Everybody
That's
else
why
had
I was
imported.
asking Canadian friends about Tandy, if the Dragon was the equivalent, and they didn't know.
The Dragon is based on the same Motorola reference design that Coco was originally done with, but that was done independently by Dragon Data out of Swansea in Wales.
Oh, okay.
So that's a British computer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's pretty well compatible. Like the only thing they really changed is the PIA, like the way the PIA works with the keyboard. It's row and column. You write out I can't remember which one off the top of my head is which, but you write to one, let's say the row, and you read back the column, and you have a grid to figure out what keys are getting hit because you can register multiple keys at once. And the Dragon, to be a little bit different, shifted everything by 3 rows. So all the keys come out wrong if you just plug in, the Dragon basic ROM, for example, and try to read the keyboard. Joysticks are compatible, graphics compatible, sounds compatible. So if you take a game cartridge that uses joysticks, it'll work fine on either one.
I used to have those speakers, David.
Yeah, you know what? I thought this is one of the pictures of my setup. I thought those speakers actually are kind of a good match for it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Those Roland speakers. So what you see there on the right, Javier, is that's the MPI, that multi-pack interface.
Yeah,
that's the second generation one. Yep.
Yeah, it lets you plug in several. No, I had to do what was that? A GAL upgrade on that?
PAL upgrader. Yeah.
For
the Coco 3 only, like a Coco 1 and 2, it didn't matter, but the Coco 1 2, the original multi-pack had a lot of ghosting. Like if you had certain cards and certain IO address spaces, it would ghost over and duplicate. But some of those got used on the Coco 3 with a new gimme chip, so they started interfering with each other, and weird crap starts to happen.
I remember having two
gimme
chips. Yeah.
Sorry, I had to make the joke.
And what you see there, by the way, that white cartridge in there, Javier, that's the Coco SDC.
Yeah, that's your must-have.
Yeah.
Actually, I just printed the case for my upcoming. Well, not mine, for the upcoming SDC that Sloopy is gonna loan me, because he told me that his case was not really nice, and he's been so kind, so I just printed one for him. So.
Yeah. Now, one of the things I had a hard time finding is the monitor stand. I think that might actually be maybe the Tandy, one of those early Tandy 1000 stands. That's kind of a wooden, like one of those gray wooden tops with like 2 U-shaped stands underneath it.
Yeah.
But that's an original Tandy stand for sure. I don't remember what system it was originally sold for, but I remember seeing an ad in one of the Tandy magazines that was displaying the Coco 3 with that stand. It was a pretty sharp look. I'd have to look it up. But.
That's a very sweet thing, man. That you got the whole stuff, isn't it? You used the joystick, maybe, yeah?
No, I've got more stuff. Actually, this is not the full setup. I have to look for my other
photos.
Another pic I have of this. The question is, how do I start? I think I stop sharing like this.
Neat. Okay, UI.
Joe, I'll just mention right now, because we had a wide range of people downloading EOU, so we didn't know, do we default to composite or default to RGB, because it's actually got different color sets.
Yeah.
So right now, I'm guessing you're using an RGB style display, whether it's SCART or whatever.
Yep.
And it's currently set for composite, which is why you're getting the grow screen and red. If you go to it's called the Tandy icon, but it basically looks like an hourglass up in the upper left.
Yep. If my mouse would work.
Okay. Do you want to use a keyboard mouse instead then?
Yep. I'm trying to.
How to find that?
Hit Control Clear.
Yep.
And then move the arrow keys for the mouse. F1 is your fire button, so just tap F1.
Cool. Awesome.
Oh, nice.
And then the control panel.
Yep.
Oh, I should make you big.
Cool.
And display.
better.
And go to RGB and click that.
If you can read it. Oh, nice. A lot better.
Neat.
And for the keyboard and mouse, just to know, the control clear will toggle it on off because it actually overrides your arrow keys for like command line history and stuff.
Okay.
But you can do straight arrow keys, moves you like a little chunk at a time. Shift and an arrow key will do 1 pixel at a time. And then control and an arrow will jump to that far end of the screen.
Mm.
Oh, look, that's a lot better. Yeah,
And you can make it. You can make it higher res too if you want. That's talking about the high res mouse interface, which I don't even know you have. So
No, I don't have it.
but if you're on the wrong mouse port, I mean, you can just swap the joystick between the ports. Or
On the left port, so
okay,
What are you in there? What is this that we're looking at?
this is a Nitrous 9 EOU,
Okay.
one of my
Very
sites.
nice.
You're running in low res graphics right now. You could bump it up to the 80 column screen too.
yeah.
Has a bit of an Atari ST look to it.
Yeah. Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
hit the clear key by itself.
Oh, nice.
So
And it
those are all
changes-
running at once. You get
Yeah.
multiple screens and multiple windows running.
changes between the different things. And this operating system framework is preemptive, correct?
Yeah, preemptive and multi-user. You can actually hook up terminals and have people log in at the same time.
Swat.
Do that, Apple II, with your 6502 and your lack of a movable stack pointer.
Hey.
We have 2 stack pointers, man.
Now I just got to figure out why my mouse doesn't work.
Well, like I said, the keyboard mouse is built in the operating system, so you can use that in a pinch. I use it all the time if I don't bother
Well, yeah,
plugging
I
something
know,
in.
but I don't want to use it. I want to use my mouse.
Oh, you got one of the single button ones, the Coco 1 and 2 ones.
I presume it'll still work.
Yeah, it should.
Yeah.
The GUI purposely only uses 1 button just in case. I will be adding some 2-button stuff, but there'll be keyboard shortcuts to
Yeah,
kind of do that too.
No courage. When I first turned it on, it like the mouse cursor moved a tiny bit and then stopped. So
It might just need cleaning then inside.
yeah,
That's that steel metal ball you can use as a deadly weapon.
yes, I know.
So are you using like one of those original Tandy
Oh,
Joe?
Joe, do you have a mouse pad?
Yes.
Okay, are you using it?
No.
No, that's
Because
why.
if you roll
well,
on the
my
table, the
desktop-
will not roll for crap.
My desktop is a rubber mat.
Oh,
it should
okay.
be
Okay.
But
Should be okay then.
I mean, I'm also moving it manually with my finger, and it's not doing anything at all.
Yeah.
I'm clicking.
By the way, if you hit clear on one of those other screens there and just type PROC, that'll list all the tasks currently running.
It's Task Manager.
We don't see it.
Dude, Jesus Christ.
Change of view.
Oh well, put one in. That's your problem, not mine.
I want to see it. Damn it.
I need to adjust my my VGA input. It's a little
Oh,
to the left.
oh, what you're saying is you want to see a working Tandy then,
Yeah.
Javier? Yeah.
All right. Well, you can go back to Javier because I'm going to turn this off and screw around with the mouse.
No, is there a tutorial out there about all those commands and capabilities of that OS somewhere? Because
Yeah, when you download ease of use off my site, I do have a beginner's notes document that kind of tells you the basic stuff to get started. And then there's also like a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I could have read that, but I didn't.
And then I've started redoing the manuals because the ones that Tandy Micro put out are getting quite far behind from where we actually are these days. So we've got the technical reference and the windowing manual have been completely redone with all the additions added. And we're currently working on the basic 9 and the main commands ones now, but those things are huge.
Oh, very nice.
Very good.
Nice.
Hey, I want to show you this, Javier. I'm sharing it.
And there's built-in help. I should mention that
What's
too. Sorry, go ahead.
This is one of those original ads on the Tandy Color Computer 3. Now you see that monitor stand that the kid is using here. Now
Yep.
I don't think that was an original Coco 3 stand. I have the feeling it was used for another Tandy model computer. I want to say one of the Tandy 1000s. Does anybody know if this stand was a Tandy 1000 stand or?
I think it was. Oh, technically it was, but I mean, Radio Shack made it so that would work with both anyway. They kind of planned it that way. And quite frankly, the color of your money mattered more than whether the stand matched the color. Or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm such a nut that I really wanted that stand. I eventually found one, and it's it's works well for that purpose. But
Cool.
Yeah, and I think that's the later ones with the half height drives too, which they never updated Basic. Basic just treated it, all drives from start to finish of the Coco's run as 35 track single sided, even though they sold 40 track double sided drives.
Yeah.
OS 9 could use them and Nitrous 9 can use them, but Basic they never changed it, which was a mistake in my opinion.
There, Javier, that's interesting is you see that the cartridge that the kid has in the computer is one of those floppy disk controllers. So you see the ribbon cable going to the drive. That's like the external drive setup that they used to have.
I think there was one at BCF. I think I saw one of those. Yeah,
it's a sweet. I like the setup. It's a good looking setup.
Yeah.
Yeah, and 3.5-inch drives work on it too. If you want to throw a double density one in there too.
Really?
I don't know if you'll be able to see it here, but I've got one on mine.
Yeah.
5 1/4 on top and the 3.5 on the bottom.
Ooh.
Very nice.
Falling apart.
What does this go to?
Hey, Rudy, it's here. Rudy, this is the Tandy program, so that's a new one. We're talking about Cocos. Oh yeah.
I'm working on a HP. Oh yeah.
If it's not a Tandy, we are not interested, Trina.
Yeah.
So that sounds very recent.
Well, it's a Windows XP machine, so kind of.
And it's not as in good shape as my Coco.
Well, no.
But it's older.
But it was also freer.
Well, that's right. Yeah, I'm excited that this is my first Tandy. I'm all crazy about it. It just arrived today, and I couldn't wait because I should wait for the cartridge so I can test it with games and stuff. But
These 18.5
I couldn't wait.
volts?
You're definitely entering a whole new world there, Javier.
Yep. Yeah. Since Steve, it's all Steve's fault. Curtis went down.
Yeah, I came back. Yeah, my whole internet went down. Like I lost the chat. I lost the video.
Oh.
So I don't know if somebody hit a pole with a car or something, or what happened here. I don't know.
But yeah, I was saying that Steve is the one who put me into this road of redemption.
Yeah, Stevie and I are the ones who started Coco Talk way back when, and now it's the Coco Nation. So
yeah, he's pretty good at convincing you to buy one.
Let me ask you this: if you're a collector and let's say you got a Coco 3, is there any advantage or interest in getting a Coco 2? Or is Coco 3, basically...
Coco 3 will run 98% of all software ever created. There is some semi-graphics, higher res semi-graphics modes that are unique to the Coco 1 and 2 that the Gimme does not fully support. There is a workaround to get the graphic part of it working, but then you lose the mixed text. So there's a few old games that you won't be able to play quite correctly. Now the Gimme X that Ed Snyder at Zipster Zone's been working on does fix that, so you can run everything. That'll be 100% backwards compatible.
Oh no, I lost my spring on the floor.
But the Coco 1 and 2 will run some certain old games like Guardian and Protector 2 and a few other games that use a higher semi-graphics mode. That seem to be used more by the Dragon, actually, to be honest. But there are a few games that will not quite display correctly. Usually you can play them, but you won't be able to see everything.
I found my spring, yay!
Because the Coco 2, physically looks almost identical. There's not a lot of differences, I would say.
Yeah, the keyboard's the big difference that you'll see externally because it's got the function 1, function 2. The arrow keys have been moved around. You got Alt and Control added in. Mind you, you can take that keyboard and plugs into Coco 1, 2, and you can use those extra keys. But once again, Tandy didn't enable that by default. The actual design of that was for the original deluxe color computer that never got released. It was supposed to be out in 84, 85. It was going to have a built-in hardware serial port and a built-in RAM drive built into the ROM, and that keyboard with a darker background instead of the gray. It was going to be more black.
Oh.
And they had 50,000 made, then they canceled it. And they destroyed them all.
Well, how successful was the Coco 3 commercially? Did that do well?
In the 3 countries it was sold in, I think it did fairly well. I mean, I can't get straight answers even out of some of the people that worked at Tandy that were in charge of the cocoa stuff, like Mark Seal, who's a regular on our chat. But they had this, he calls it a gentleman's agreement, where they weren't, everybody at Tandy agreed we're not going to talk about sales figures no matter what, even though the company's like long dead and gone.
Oh, really?
Which I don't understand. I don't comprehend why he's doing that or why they continue to do that. As near as I can tell from serial numbers, it looks like the Cocoa one, which actually did get one of the higher ups at Tandy in mid to early 83, actually did say they'd sold about 500,000 Cocoa ones. Going by serial numbers, I would estimate at least 2 million Cocoa 2s were sold. And also by serial numbers, at least 1 million Cocoa 3s.
Okay.
And Cocoa 3s were sold only in 3 countries as opposed to the Cocoa 2s.
And what were those countries again that you mentioned?
The Cocoa 3 was sold in Canada, the US, and Australia.
Okay.
I mean, you get imported for a song, you know.
But so not originally on the European market.
No, just the Cocoa 1 and 2.
And the 1 and 2 sold on the European market, you said?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Now, like, for example, in the UK, it was overpriced compared to the Dragon, which was its competitor, and the Dragon at that time had a better keyboard and had a real parallel port, not the Bitbanger serial port.
Yeah.
And the Dragon 64 added a real serial port on top of that, so you had real serial and real parallel. So it was actually a bit of a better machine. Frankly, if I lived there, I would have bought a Dragon instead too.
Yeah, yeah. And what
Especially
about the Dragon? Was the Dragon sold in the US at all?
Briefly, Tano. Where were they based out of? I can't remember in the States, but they basically did an NTSC version of the Dragon because, of course, the Dragon was PAL. And they did sell it for a bit, and it actually did fairly well for a bit, but then the parent company went under in the UK, got sold to a company in Spain, which kept it going for a couple years after. Then they kind of dropped it too. So
it looked like the Spanish market has had this history of keeping some versions of computers going way beyond the rest of the European countries even. I think that happened with, which other model does this happen with? I'm wondering if they didn't do that with some of the Sinclair or Timex, the Timex models. They were discontinued everywhere except in Spain, and Spain kept selling it way beyond all the other European places.
Like a Spectrum, you mean, or?
No, it was the Timex Sinclair. You know the
the original, like the ZX80, ZX81.
Right. Oh, I think it might have been the Timex Sinclair 2068, which is.
You're talking about this?
No.
Not Spectrum 2+2.
Yeah.
The 2068 was the American quote
was
unquote
the American model version of the ZX Spectrum.
Yeah.
But I think they kept it going as a Timex in Spain much longer. I think that was one of the cases. I love those. That's a CPC 464. Isn't that what that is? Something like that.
CPC 464 in Spanish.
Oh, that's why it was wrong.
What happened?
Left and right are from viewing the back of the computer, not the front of the computer.
They're also labeled on the back.
Well, I'm not looking at the back of the computer.
No, Javier, do you have the monitor that goes with that CPC?
No, just the machine.
Because I thought that isn't the PSU in the monitor? I'm trying to remember.
No.
No,
this is a 5-volt PC connector.
Okay, maybe there was just a wire from the monitor to
Yep.
the main unit to power it then maybe.
Yeah.
Oh,
This is
it
very
worked.
cool.
Yeah, those were sold like hotcakes in France
Huge.
and Europe. Yeah.
Just like the TI-99, they're like one thing and then next.
Extends, yeah.
Too big, yeah.
Well, the
Well,
TI
that's
can
all
extend over several feet, but yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I think we're getting
But yeah,
it. All right.
definitely. I'm loving
There you go,
this.
Trina.
Tandy.
Don't you like orange? Is it you who likes orange?
Yeah, Halloween colors. There you go.
Not a huge fan of orange.
Okay. I must be confusing you with somebody else I watch on the internet a lot and likes orange.
I'm probably a Dutch guy. No.
Now that you say it, yeah, the keys feel different but they don't feel bad actually.
No,
Yeah, they're not mechanical though. They've got that little what's it called? That little plastic springy thing.
Yeah, it's plasticky instead of.
Is it worth doing a mechanical keyboard upgrade on that, or?
Well, if you type a lot.
If the mylar membrane is getting worn, like if it's been used a lot and it's getting worn out and some keys stop working, then yeah, I would probably do that at that point.
Yeah.
But up until that point, probably not. It's good. It's not great, but it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's.
And since yours is pretty well brand new in the box, never been used, you're probably got 40 years yet before it goes bad.
Yep.
Grandkids will be playing with that one, Javier.
That's right.
Okay, so
I'm loving it.
That one is for scrap.
I can't wait until I get the card from Sloop, and I think I'm gonna order the Canadian place. From the Canadian place.
Yeah, Retro Rewind. Frank's a good guy. He's also a big Commodore guy. So
I have to see where.
Yes, I met Frank this past weekend actually.
Oh, really?
yeah, he walked us around. And that's when we tried waving to you.
Yeah, I know, and everybody's like, "Wait, there's Trina," and I apparently went back in my little booth where no one could find me. It was amazing.
I buy the Coco SDC from. That was a while back.
Yeah. Now they're a lot pricier. Well, not a lot. Yeah,
no, there's like $70 some odd dollars. I think even Canadian, it's like 92 or something.
But for what it does, though, that's probably one of the best deals out there compared to.
Yeah, and then you hit the Color Computer Archive and download megabytes and megabytes and megabytes of stuff.
Yeah, Sloopy already sent me a SD that I'm gonna copy with tons of stuff. So
yeah,
and it gets updated. Like I've just been updating the archive too. There's about 20 things I've added on this month, I think.
Oh wow!
I've been trying to. My Tandy thing has been finally digitizing manuals and stuff that aren't on there yet that I've been putting off for years. So I've actually been doing it.
I wanna get that. This OS. This looks nice. Look at that. Wow.
Neat.
That's a lot.
It is.
A lot of steam there.
I kind of like the gray also. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, I usually defaulted to gray, but it depends whether you got composite or RGB.
Hey, look, it's Curtis Boyle.
Yep.
Oh, those are the Belgian flag color. Thank you, guys.
There you go.
I don't know what this program does. It just
edits icons that you use on the GUI. So if you want to go to the demos folder, there's a few demos you can try.
I gotta teach you how to use a mouse, Joe. Sheesh.
Go to
the close box to go up one level, which is a bit strange, I know, but this is written back in 86, 87.
Here's my
I got it.
Let's do this one.
Demos, yeah.
Ha! I got a blue light.
Yay, blue lights.
Well,
Joe, click on the view menu too. And pick 80 by 25. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Resolution.
Nice.
Bounce is probably the famous one because that's the one everybody wrote back in the day. Except we added a Mona Lisa in ours.
That's it.
Don't power on.
And this is a program written in BASIC.
Wow.
Okay, that one doesn't work.
Oh.
Oh, the famous bouncing ball from Amiga.
Yeah. Because everybody was envious of Amiga.
That was the
everybody was doing their own version. Yeah.
Then you can go back to your GUI menu there and leave this running in the background if you want.
Multitasking. That is freaking awesome. Cool. Neat.
And there's games, and there's a fair bit of stuff. There's compilers and all kinds of stuff, depending on how nerdy you want to get.
So did the Tandy come with a GUI OS, or was it all text-based?
The one built in the ROM is just basically, it's like GWiz Basic on the IBM. In fact, that's where IBM PC GWiz Basic came from. The Coco was kind of the predecessor of that because it introduced like the play command for sound.
Okay.
And the draw command and stuff like that. That's where it was first tested. It was on the Coco, basically.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I want this. I like it.
Well, now I'm starting to see why these laptops were free.
Yeah.
So here's a question, though. Let's say somebody, doesn't have any Tandys. Is that the one Tandy to get?
Did it crash?
No, just to be clear.
I say yeah.
I would say so. I mean, compared to more classic Tandys like Model 1, Model 3, Model 4, or should they go Tandy color computer? I think there's definitely more fun in the Cocos, right? In terms of gaming and everything else.
Did you say more fun or less?
More fun, right? Coco 3s, I mean, at least the Cocos probably have a much larger like gaming library than
Oh yeah, like my site, my game website right now, I think I just passed 800 games on it here just this last week or so. I'm just over half done the ones I know of.
Now this is a good question. What about the games for these old machines, Model 8, I think it is, the black and white? There were some games over there. Do they play on the Coco?
No, the Model 1 and 3, 4, that whole series, those are Z80s.
Oh, okay.
Completely different CPU, so that wouldn't work at all.
So I just remember that I saw a demo from this guy in BCF East. He had a modded one with a lot of new things, and he has a submarine game that I used to play when I was a kid, and I kind of wanted to play it again.
I can get sound working on this.
I thought when you were a kid it was like stones and rocks.
No, Trina, that's you. Oh, actually, my first game was Pong, so yeah. Huh?
Yeah.
Are you not getting sound either, Joe?
Well, it's because I don't have it connected to speaker.
Oh, maybe that's why.
I have to get adapter doodles to get that. Just stand by and do the thing.
Anybody want 3 dead Vista machines and a dead XP machine?
Nope.
No.
What about no?
No battery, no hard drives, no memory.
No.
Or stop.
That also won't work.
Huh.
I have to do some severe prestidigitation to make this work because I don't have the right cables to make it. Do I have the right cables?
But that's okay because they were
All
free.
that crap, and you don't have the right cables. I can't believe that, Joe.
Yeah.
Joe, talk to me. Did you see the bins of cables I bought? I might have the right cable for everything.
I can't see anything because you got me like full screen here.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, yeah.
I saw all of the stuff you got. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's in it? What's in the bins?
I don't know yet.
Oh, they just you open it, you're like, cables, great, close.
I gave away all my cables in
Pretty much
Kansas.
that was it.
I need to disconnect this.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about this,
Very nice. Nice find, Javier, for sure.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I've been waiting and waiting and waiting, and this was my chance. Since he told me that the Coco 3 was the one to get,
there we go.
I've been just scavenging everywhere. Finally got it.
Yes, Steve came to the Vero Beach club meeting that we had a couple weeks ago, and I think he had brought a bunch of Coco 2s as well.
Oh, man, I missed it.
Yeah.
There was one in Orlando, isn't it, last week?
Yeah, there was one in Orlando. Yeah, I think it was set up more by the Central Florida club.
Nice. Yep.
But there's a lot of the members from that general area that went to it. I think it was in the library in Orlando.
Nice.
I messed up.
You were busy 2 weeks ago, though, Javier.
Yeah, I had my daughter was visiting, so she took precedence.
No, you were at BCF.
Oh yeah, well, 3 weeks. Yeah, a few weeks ago then. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a few weeks ago.
Ooh, it has color.
Fail, big fail. Can't play video games. Bad at video games. No ability to play games at all.
Ooh.
I don't play video games.
Huh.
No.
I like it. They added color pages.
Yeah, they do a good job on the manuals, that's for sure.
Yeah, they even did the color pages back in the Coco 1 manuals in 1982.
Wow.
Wow.
How do you close a program that's running?
Power switch.
But look at this. Oh, hold on. There's also memory. Oh yeah, you guys can't see. Wrong camera. There's also memory in the box for
nice
desktops and laptops.
You trying to quit the game, Dexter?
Yeah.
I think, what is it on that one? It might be Control Q.
Yep.
Yeah.
There,
Nice.
I just went through my first box.
You can go to window and type help text or two. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No,
Give
no.
me time.
I just was saying I just went through my first box. Ooh.
Yeah, she bought a bunch of boxes.
So what did you do, Trina? Did you buy like a bunch of computers that just came in? Is that the
No,
She bought
so
a truckload of stuff.
yeah. I was gonna
Yeah.
say Curtis has seen the photos or the
Yeah.
photo. So I was at this past weekend. I was at an event called the World of Retro Computing in Kitchener, Ontario, and one of the guys there, he didn't want to take everything back, so he's like,
Oh.
"Who wants to buy my table?"
Oh
Like,
wow.
table of stuff, which was three tables out front and 2 tables behind it, full of
Jeez.
stuff.
Oh my
And
God.
so I bought it all. So, but the laptops, I don't know where they came from. They were on the free table, and as soon as I saw them, I buckled onto them.
Yeah.
Those are music scores, Joe. You can't actually just double click around. They're meant to be loaded by a MIDI editing software.
That's dumb.
I haven't set up an icon generic for that yet.
It's fine.
So Curtis, have
Tell me
you
because I'm
been
dumb.
involved in the Coco community for a long time then?
Yeah. I mean, I've had a Coco since 1981
Oh, okay.
in September.
Got some time.
Got a
So-
4K Coco 1. That's what I had to start.
So
Was that your
just
first
1 or
computer?
2 years then?
First one I owned. First computers I used a PET
Okay.
in '79
Nice.
in school, and then an Apple II Plus the following year.
Yeah.
And I would, at the time I probably would have liked to have gotten that, but then I saw the price
Ah,
and
yeah.
got a Coco instead because it was like a third the cost. And then I found the basic was actually better too, which is kind of just a happy side effect.
Very cool.
True.
Yes, most of the Canadians got together, Mac Effects, but not all of us, such as One Bit Fever Dreams, who wasn't there. Not that I'm pointing any fingers or anything. No, it's fine.
I'll be back in just a second. I gotta check on the pets outside here.
Go.
Yeah, you.
Thanks.
So Javier, what's your plan with this machine? How deep are you gonna go?
I'm telling you, I'm upgrading the processor already. When Joe sent it to me, I'm gonna get I want to play games, and I'm gonna be getting a joystick, of course.
Yeah.
Sloopy's back.
Win
Hold on.
95. What? What is this?
Hey, Sloopy,
Hell?
welcome back.
We're learning a lot about Coco, Sloopy.
Yeah. Curtis knows everything there is to know.
Oh yeah.
Very knowledgeable.
Plus 3 things
more.
you don't want to know.
Yeah.
Anybody know what this card might be? So this is the end of it.
Oh.
That, can I see the connector?
That's the connector.
No, the edge connector that plugs into the machine itself.
Sorry.
What the hell?
Yeah.
It's a massive board.
I
Like,
I was
there's no
about
can-
to say it's an Angus card for an Amiga, but they don't have that type of connector.
It also has like a SCSI connector on it, I think.
Yeah. That's like an AGP
What are the,
pin style.
Wow.
What are the chips on it say?
They say nothing because they don't talk.
Ah! Bad joke!
Yeah, it is a bad joke. Adaptec Inc.
Oh yeah, it's just a SCSI controller for something.
Yeah, it's a SCSI
Oh
card.
wow.
Looks like EISA.
He has the SCSI card.
There's a number on it of 467806-00 Rev G. Can't see if there's anything else identifiable. Yeah, this
Yeah,
is
you
pretty
know
much
the,
a box of cards.
Yeah, you know the Coco Nation that I keep talking about on Saturdays?
Yeah.
Yeah, Curtis is the one that does the news on the Coco Nation.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to tune in, I guess.
When does that run as a podcast, or how does that run?
It's streamed live on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook.
Okay, cool.
And the best part of the show is the nap time section called News with L. Curtis Boyle.
Yep, that's a good 2 hours of sleep right there.
It's the biggest part of the show.
Wow.
By length, not popularity.
Unless you're an insomniac, then it's by popularity. So
Wow.
Does that work on this screen?
Okay, now both Javier and Joe have Cocos, and it's confirmed. So Thursday night, 8 p.m., I want to see both of you on the Coco Nation Game On Challenge Live.
We'll be there.
Speak for yourself. I can't play video games for nothing.
There's a few other people that can't either. You'll be right. Yeah. You'll fit right in.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah, there's. We have contests for who gets the highest score and who gets the lowest score.
I'll win the latter.
Ooh, I found another laptop in a box.
I need change.
Oh, jeez. EOU? Really?
I had to start them right
You
while you're
have
gone.
sent that cartridge in like quickest way, man. Cause I'm just dying to play with this.
I actually found it this morning.
Oh,
here, I'll show it to you.
Oh yeah, right. The Tegra.
Blue's a little easier to look at. Little more contrast.
Here it is.
That didn't do anything.
Oh, there you go.
That's a cool case.
Yeah.
Oh, you might hit that one bug. The guy that wrote the new control program actually fixed it. It'll be in the next release.
Let me make you big.
Oh.
I think you have to restart G Shell for it to take effect because he doesn't have a take effect right after. So.
Well, that's cool. Or something.
Yeah.
Send it out.
Yeah, it's actually a silver.
Yes.
A silver color element.
Yeah. It's a nice one. Mine is a plain white case.
Yeah.
Definitely looks cooler.
Yeah, I made this one myself.
Oh, very nice.
I had the plain white case, but I
sold that'll be fixed in the next release, Joe. We did.
I sold that to Justin.
Nice.
That one's dead.
Well, because I figured I'd sell him mine so that you have something to play with immediately, and I just buy another one at Coco Fest, and then I forgot to grab one at Coco Fest.
Yeah, and it just goes back to what it was. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cool. Very cool.
But yeah, Javier, this is what I was talking about on the button.
Yeah. Oh, it broke, huh?
Yep. First time I pushed it.
Wow. Yeah.
Click.
Power supply.
Yeah,
push less hard.
It's not a great design, but yeah, it is what it is.
Right.
Oh, and I also have a printer. Should I send that off to Steve? It's not an Apple one, though.
Nice.
Is it possible to set the system to set Nitro COU here to boot directly to the G shell?
Yep.
Mac Effects. I don't have a bamboo
cool.
Printer, but I'm one of the cool kids. See, I'm at the cool kids table.
We can't see you because all we can see is Joe.
He thinks he's important, I guess.
Why
Well,
do I? Oh.
I am.
So, Joe, by the way, this
Not-
is the first time you and I speak directly. Joe and I have been exchanging.
Oh yeah, Joe. Yeah, if you don't remember, David is the one who sent you that cursed Apple III.
That fateful Apple III, Joe.
Yeah, that now Sloopy has.
Oh no, it's your.
It's the hot potato.
Yeah.
Except that I have a feeling Sloopy will actually be able to get the stupid thing running.
It's your problem now, Sloopy.
It will work.
Because
it'll
I
have.
was messaging
what?
Joe. I
That
said,
just happened.
you keep referring to that guy to whom
You're
you
selecting a place to put a shell, so you just click once to place it, and then click the second time to stretch it to the size you want. But you double-clicked it, so it made it really small.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it will have two choices: to work,
Fancy.
or it will learn what the definition of defenestration is.
I love that word. Oh, it's one of my favorites.
Yes, it's one of my two favorite words:
So I
defenestration and smock.
I bought these two markers at a flea market. Neither of them work.
Oh,
I mean, I paid 25 cents for them, so
I guess the fleas got him. Got to him.
I'm not even going to touch that.
Get an acetone-proof container. Pour an inch of acetone into it. Take that pen and put it upside down in the acetone, and it'll suck up into the marker, and then make it work again.
Ooh.
And after it's stopped bubbling, or after about 5 minutes, cap the marker, shake the absolute bejesus crap out of it, then wait 24 hours, and the marker will magically start working.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Nice.
You can also use xylene. I wouldn't suggest it. It's awful stuff. Dichloromethane.
No.
Acetone's easier to use, though.
Yeah.
Hi,
Well, there. I got through 2 of my boxes out of the.
Yeah, we can see your boxes.
I mostly saw like loose cables. Is there actual like computer stuff in there?
Mm-hmm. Like this box has cards in it. But you can't see that I marked it because the markers suck. But the cards are in that one. This one has a laptop, and I don't know what's below it.
It's not not working. It's just disappearing ink.
Yes. It just happens to be disappearing as soon as I try to write with it.
Right. Well, the ink that comes out of it is disappearing ink.
Yeah, really fast.
You just have to figure out how to make it reappear.
The real question is, where's Homer Simpson, Trina?
Well, where's Homer Simpson? Hold on. Sorry.
That's the real question.
Hold on. I can get you that. If I can move.
Come on.
Sorry, it's a bit tight in here.
Did everyone see the repair that I did on my monitor? The picture?
Oh, not yet.
So I got a couple Homer Simpsons. So this is one of them.
Nice.
Da-da-da-da. And then I don't know where the smaller ones went to.
Oh yeah, I saw a photo of that, Sloopy.
Oh, I should go get the masterpiece of what I got. Hold on.
You stuck at something there, Joe, or I can't see your screen, so I don't know if you're trying.
I make you big.
It worked.
So what is this?
I was killing that shell process that I had created on that special window.
Oh yeah, if you're at a show like that, just type EX for execute or whatever.
Is it a front bezel with some money? Or?
Yeah.
I haven't read the manual yet.
It's an Ikegami PM.
You killed it from another window?
5.
Yeah, I just used proc to kill to kill it.
Okay.
Oh.
And the tab was broke. So
you fix it.
I took a washer, heated it up, put the piece on, and then with the washer hot, I put it on there so that it would hold it, and then covered it in JB weld.
Oh,
nice. Wow,
good,
nice.
And then the corner, like this corner here, when I was pulling it apart, it just crumbled to bits. So I put it back together, held it, slightly melted it to hold it back together. Took a wooden Q-tip, put it in there to hold it straight, and then just put JB weld all around it, which you can't really see too well.
Nice.
And I reinforced that one with JB weld.
Yeah.
And then the 2 bottom ones, because these are the bolts that hold in the CRT.
Yeah, they gotta be strong.
And
in terms of plastic restorations, have you guys ever tried that old super glue baking soda trick?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah.
That works kind of well. Yeah.
Javier, do you want to make
did
me
a lot
bake for
of
a
plastic
second?
work recently on the Model 6 actually.
Yeah, this side had a crack in it.
You're big.
Look, ta-da! I also got a bowling pin with everything.
Remember what I said.
You
Yeah,
can
I
see
know.
that it's used.
Yeah,
Remember
it's
what
well
I said about
used.
the bowling pin?
I know what you said. Good God.
That is a weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Used for
But
what?
hold
That's
on,
the
I also
question.
I also got something in the mail the other day.
Oh, Susan Care.
Yeah.
Susan Care. Nice.
Somebody had them up on eBay, and I bought one.
Very cool.
Yeah, you can take me off big now. That's all.
So you,
I just wanted to show some of my. Yeah, the guy that I bought the table from had a box of those bowling pins, and
Oh.
so when I bought the table, I'm like, I get a bowling pin, don't I?
And he
he's
brought a box of bowling pin at the World of Retro Computing, you said?
Yeah. What the
Interesting.
hell?
They didn't have any of the 5-pin bowling smaller ones, or
No,
It's-
just the big chunky ones.
It's for fixing Commodores.
For sure.
that's that hammer thing you were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Commodores are great.
Yeah. I'm subtle. Actually,
mine's within arm's reach at all
Joe.
times.
this works really well for the keys, for the keyboard, the clear keyboard.
Oh yeah, you just got the.
I'm actually, it takes less time to do it with this than with your keys,
Yeah, I have two.
with your fingers. Sorry. Yeah.
One, please
Yeah.
go down, and two, I wasn't asking.
Yes.
Yeah, the guy
this is
the guy was telling me he's actually building a bowling alley in his garage, and that's what started it. And so there was a place, some guy apparently was selling these, and he bought 600 of them for $300.
Oh my God.
So he takes them everywhere, hoping somebody will buy one.
Yeah.
I would have bought one for $1.
How can you get rid of it?
I
But you need
I,
for a complete set, do you not?
I technically paid $200 for it.
For it, yes.
You bought a bowling pin for $200, and you got a bunch of computer shit for free.
A bunch of
Exactly,
boxes
there
with
you
it,
go.
yeah.
And you should take it to the shows and sell it to all the Canadians, so that when they go back and they have to go through customs, the customs officer looks at them and says, "What's this?" And you say, "It's a bowling pin."
Okay.
Yeah, you never mind the blood on the end of it there.
He's gonna get
Exactly. Don't mind me.
Yeah, my
Yeah,
bowling
I
ball's
just had
red.
one or
It's just skid marks.
I just have one or two boxes behind me right now, Garth.
Take that bowling pin with you to every convention you go to from now on, and put $5 on it. Somebody will buy it.
Somebody will buy it. But I actually want to keep it. It's the one piece that I actually want to keep.
Oh, also, on VCF Midwest, I got one other gets that I didn't mention at all.
Oh.
I got this.
Oh.
New in box.
Okay. Whoa. Back up.
Stretch iPhone?
Back up. We were promised
Uh-huh.
a story
Let's see it again.
during the
What is that?
retro repair roundup.
That's
that
right. He
we
never told the
heard.
story.
Uh-huh. All right. Let me finish with this. All right. This was brand new in box, still sealed. Okay.
What is that?
And it plugs into a USB-C,
Okay.
and it gives you 3 USB 3 ports.
Oh.
it's
An SD card, a micro SD card, a wired Ethernet, the display port, HDMI, VGA, and you can also put power into it for charging with the ports. Okay?
Did you get the power cable with it?
No.
Oh.
I showed it to my son, and he was like, "Oh man, that's cool," because I was showing it to Missy and my son at the same time.
Right.
And he's like, "That's really cool." And the two ports, the display port and the HDMI, you can actually plug them both in at the same time and extend your desktop to two more displays.
Right.
The VGA can only be used by itself because the controller can only do digital or analog at one time. So it can do 2 digital, or it can do the single analog.
Damn.
Is it meant to be wedged under something? Because I noticed there are like 2 little indents.
Yeah, it's just just designed for it. And I actually plugged it into my phone. I have a Samsung S7, and you can actually plug it into a phone, and it actually came up with a desktop, and I plugged my mouse into it, and I was able to use my phone as a desktop. But you can plug it into either an Android phone or an iPhone. If you don't have the USB-C on the iPhone, you have to get the adapter. Or you can plug it into a laptop, and it'll give you extended displays. And
I don't know how to install it.
My girlfriend was like, "Wow, that's pretty cool." My son was like, "Yeah, I want one of them." We go on Amazon, $150.
Wow.
Yeah, and I got it
for that.
It was on the free pile at VCF.
Oh my god!
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I think somebody set it down. I think somebody set it down by accident. Forgot it was there.
Yeah.
Yours now.
Here, let me just put this down. I'm gonna pay you for this other thing here, and then
yeah. I mean, it was sealed and everything. So
nice.
All right.
With a hammer.
And Joe, you're putting your 2 meg badge on there. It looks like.
Yep.
I still haven't done that on mine. Mine's still sitting on the shelf.
Is there a hole in the back of the case so they can push that badge out through?
All right, Sophie,
no, I don't think so.
Let's pretend this is the Retro Repair Roundup since we have 3 of the 4 hosts on. Hi.
Okay.
Oh, you missed it. It's too late now.
Yep.
I was on the friggin' stream. You never told the story.
That's because you didn't ask.
Speaking about
Hold on.
repairs,
All right.
Hey, there goes my money.
Loopy, there you go. Just for you.
What?
speaking about repairs, I had a question for you guys. I'm kind of neck deep into some K-Pro repairs right now.
Throw it in the trash.
No, why?
I'm being funny. Go ahead.
Those are good. And specifically, they came with some of those Tech or TC's FB500 series disk drives. And are any of you familiar at all with those types of drives? I'm kind of thinking mine has potentially a track 0 issue, but that's
those original 360K drives or whatever they are, they're
Yeah.
garbage. Is the general consensus. Is it working at all?
Well, they spin, the head moves, but I think it's a track 0 issue. And I've got a maintenance manual out. It doesn't say anything about testing, like the methodology for testing track 0. I have the feeling there's probably a test point in there somewhere or something like that.
It's just an optical sensor, so.
Yeah. But are we supposed to? Would I test that with some form of? It's like a voltage measurement.
There's a line for track 0 on the 34-pin connector. I don't remember if it goes low or high.
So it would be a voltage read when it's in the tracks at track 0 or not, I assume.
Yeah, let me look real quick. It's
Hey,
yeah, those drives, man, they're like dying left and right.
get a go, Tech. Never worry about it again.
I love what
Yeah.
CDI made the comment about what Sloopy found in the free pile. It was in the we broke up and I'm taking this pile.
Yeah, pin 26 is track 0. It's not showing it as a negative. Well, let's see here. Let's try something a little bit better.
It's like Pinto on the edge connector, typical. Is that?
Yeah, it's on the edge connector. Yeah, the edge connector. All the even numbers are ground. Excuse me.
I'll test that out because I think that's what it is. And I assume we can still find parts for that, like replacement part for those track 0 sensors.
All it is a optical sensor.
Okay, so that's fairly standard.
Yeah, it's negative enabled, so it should show voltage on it when you're not at track 0, and then when you actuate it, it should show 0.
0 volt at track 0. Okay.
Yeah.
Or low. Okay.
Yeah, it's pin 26.
Oh, just before I go, because I'm starting to fall asleep here. I I went around to everybody that was selling stuff. Nobody, and I mean nobody had one of these things. And I'll show it off. Because I very specifically was asking people for it.
Oh, Commodore.
Commodore phone.
Wow.
Which is a Canadian only item. And the last one sold for around $350 US on eBay.
Oh, wow.
Are you keeping up with Commodore? Because Trammell is screwing it up for you.
I paid a whole whopping $30 shipped for mine 5 years ago.
Wow. Now, what's the story behind that, Trina? I mean, did Commodore produce phones, or is it just
no? So it was made by Northern Telecom, which is a Canadian company, or
defunct Canadian company.
Yeah. And when you bought a VIC-20 in Canada, you could buy the phone with it for your modem.
Is that because you knew you needed tech support, so they gave you a phone? Or?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And they obviously sold it in beige to match the VIC-20, I guess.
That's right. Yes.
Mm. Yeah.
But I was talking to several people who had Commodore stuff, and everybody has one, and the consensus is those that have them now are going, haha, we're not ever selling them. Because they've become a large collector's item.
How many bowling pins would you want for it, Trina?
Might use the whole bowling ball for that one.
An alley's worth. I want an alley's worth of the pins.
All right.
But yeah, they're going for ridiculous prices now. Like,
wow.
Mine was $30 5 years ago.
And it's not it's a Commodore branded phone, but it's not made by Commodore.
No.
Right?
No. And it was a Canadian only thing, and apparently a lot of Americans are now going, oh my God, you guys had this cool thing that we can't get down here.
I want the phone! And we're like, and the Canadians are like, you can take a hike and try to kick a moose.
Actually, the first guy that I talked to, because the guy that I got all this stuff was right by the door, and I'm like, oh my God, you got all this shit. So I'm like, as soon as I walked in, I went right to him, and I'm like, do you have a Commodore phone for sale? And he just went, no, I have one in my collection, though.
The only other thing that sounds remotely similar to that, speaking about phones and computers, some time ago I got one of those Mac phones that was sold by a company called, what was that, Intermatrix or something like that, as a phone that was sold to be basically glued on the side of your Macintosh for some early telephony applications. Like it would dial the number for you. But there's not a lot of examples of computer brands, selling or branding phones. That's interesting. I never knew that Commodore had done that.
Yep. So now we have another person in the States who's like, how do I get one?
Well,
yeah.
Because because we were talking about it. Like I was talking to everybody about it, and I'm like, it's because they said Americans are the big market for these right now. And I said, it's funny that you mentioned that because everybody I know that wants one is American.
Yeah.
So
I have a thing that a phone goes into that says Atari.
Acoustic coupler.
Yeah. The coupler.
Atari 835 acoustic modem.
Yeah.
It's a OEM Novation Cat.
But I'm just gonna do a quick promotion. Saturday, 2:00. Watch my channel, or come hang out with me.
Yeah, we'll be busy.
I'm gonna mute you now.
Because I'm actually gonna on my channel start going through what's in Trina's boxes.
What you should do it around 4 because by then that's when the nap time for the Coco Nation.
The news
starts.
will start. Yeah.
Well, the issue starting at 4 is that I could go over 2 hours, and I don't want to interrupt Tech Amber.
What is this short show of 2 hours you're talking about? I don't understand.
It's 2 hours.
Our shows are like 4 to 6.
No, but mine is good. I want mine to go longer, but there's another person that I like to watch that streams at 6:00.
That's what picture-in-picture's for.
That's why you have tabs.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I'm watching 5 tabs of videos now.
Yeah.
Okay, but and 4 of those And 4 of those are Pornhub.
Well, but
you really don't have to watch for the plot. I'm just saying.
That's in another window.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They don't count towards that 4.
Muted.
And there goes my monetization.
Yeah, now you're gonna owe money at this point.
It just got blacklisted.
So, are you going to bed now, Trina?
I'm gonna go to bed. Yeah.
Okay.
Good night, old lady.
Y'all have a good night.
Good night,
old lady.
Hi, Trina. Bye.
Good night. Okay, now that she's gone, I can tell my story.
Oh, you're mean.
Hey, she's the one who said she wanted me to tell it, so I was like, getting all prepared and ready to tell it, and then she's like, "Oh, I'm going to bed." So it's her fault, not mine. Yeah, Joe, you've already heard it. You want to hear it, Javier? And I'm sorry, I forgot your name.
David.
Yeah, go ahead.
I forgot your name. David. Curtis. Oh.
I'll listen to it. I have to get back to work myself, so.
Yeah. Well,
otherwise I'll be staying up all night getting it cut up. Yeah.
Well, the thing is that every time I've gone to VCF Midwest, there's always been problems. Like 1 year, I had a flat tire 200 miles from home. Another year, I had a problem with my clippers, and it's like every year there's been a problem. Well, this year, because I was going to Joe's place on the way to VCF Midwest, I took a different route than I usually do. So I went across around Baltimore and up and across I-68, and then it went up into PA, and I got off I-68 onto National Highway Route 40. Okay, and when I got off onto National Highway Route 40, I was in the middle of the Appalachian Mountains, and because it's not a highway, like a limited access, like interstate highway, it goes up and down the hills instead of going back and forth up and down. So you're going up hills, down hills, up hills, and the rumble strips on either side of the road, when you'd hit them, I was driving along and I hit it and I was like, that sounds familiar. And then I hit it again and I was like, oh, I know what that is. You remember in Flight Simulator 2 for the Apple and for the Atari, the sound the plane engine made when you were flying?
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what the sounds sounded like.
Oh, boy.
So I'm cruising along in my car and I go and hit it and I'm like, ooh, ladies and gentlemen, we're taking off. And I'm going up the hill and I'm going on it. And I'm like, yes, we're going to hit a cruising altitude of 30,000 feet. Oh, no. Can I come off the rumble strip? And I'm like, oh, no, the engine died. and I was like, oh. And then we start going down the hill. And we're going down the hill and we're going a little faster because we're going down a hill. And it's pretty steep. And I'm like, oh no, I hope the engine starts before we crash. And then like if it's like a small hill and then goes up and then goes down, I'm like, oh cool, we got a little bit of speed so we can go up a little bit so we don't crash just yet. Oh yay, the engine, and then I'd go back on and yay, the engine started. Well, I'm doing this for like 6-8 miles at least, and there's like a car behind me, and it's like originally it was like probably like 200 feet behind me. And as I'm doing this, because it's like a 2-lane road, 1 lane in each direction.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And when there's no cars coming the other way, I'll go on the rumble strip in the center of the road. But when there's cars coming the other way, I'll hit the rumble strip on the side of the road. And the car behind me just started slowing down and just was like further and further away until it was more like 500 to 700 feet behind me, which I really wasn't worried about. Then all of a sudden it was like, I'm continuing to do this and like, oh, we're going up and we're going to hit an altitude of 30,000 feet. And I noticed behind me that the car behind me was pulling over a little bit and a cop was coming up. And so I was thinking, oh, there's a cop going by. So I start to pull over.
How much you want to bet that car that was following you called the cops on you?
It could be.
Anyway,
so
continue.
I pulled over a little bit thinking he was just going to go right behind me. Nope, he came up right behind me.
Ooh.
And I went, woo! So I find a place to pull over that's off the road, and we pull over, and the guy comes up and he goes, "Excuse me, sir, can you please step out of your car?" And I'm like, "Sure." Is there a problem, officer? And he looks at me and goes, "Have you been drinking?" And I said, "No." I said, "No, I haven't." He goes, "Are you sure you haven't been drinking?" And I'm like, "No. Was I speeding or something?" He goes, "Well, you were going a little over the limit. I mean," he goes, "the speed limit is 45 in some places, and you were going up to 52. But," he goes, "no, that's not why I pulled you over. I pulled you over because you were all over the road." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And he goes, "Why?" He goes, "Well," he goes, "You're admitting you were all over the road?" I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Why?" And I said, "Do you remember the old game for the old computer, the Apple II?"
No, you didn't say
and
that.
He looked at me and he goes, "I can't say that I do." Because I mean, this guy looked like he was like 30 at most. And I said, "Well, way back when, long ago, because you know how we have 64-bit computers." He goes, "Yeah, I've heard something like that." And I says, "Well, they started at 8 bits. And back then we had Apple, the iPhone company, used to make a computer called the Apple II. And there was a game on there called the Flight Simulator. And when you're driving along and you hit the rumble strip, it sounds like the plane engine from that game." And he goes, "I'm sorry, what did you say?" And I'm like,
defense.
"The rumble strip, as you're driving on it, as you hit it, it sounds like the plane engine in the Flight Simulator 2. And I'm like looking at and I'm like looking at him with a smile on my face, and he's like looking at me as if I'm fucking, excuse my language, as if I'm insane. And I said, "Okay." So he goes, "Well,
I'm just waiting for the time you tell me that you're getting tased, because I know we're getting to the point where you're getting tased."
Yeah, exactly.
I said, so that's what I was doing. I was pretending I was flying a plane while I was going on the thing." And he goes, "Yeah, you're going to need to just stay right there for a minute." He goes back to the car. He gets in the car. He's in there for several minutes. He gets out. He goes, "Do you have your license and registration?" I says, "I have my license. The registration's in the car." He goes, "Okay, just give me your license." And so I give him my license. And he goes back in his car and he comes back out and he goes, "Well, I'm waiting for my supervisor because I'm not certified to do a field sobriety test." So we're standing there, and all of a sudden, two or three more police cars show up. One of them said "supervisor" across the front fender. And I'm like, "Oh, shit. This ain't good. Hey, Joe, I may be a little late." And so the guy gets out of the supervisor car, and I'm like, "Oh, good. He's got gray hair."
Okay.
And he comes over to the officer that was talking to me, and he says, "So what's going on?" He goes, "I don't know. He's talking about planes and like old computers and such." He goes, "I'm not sure what's going on." He said he hasn't been drinking, but he was like all over the road. And so this supervisor comes up to me, and he goes, "Good afternoon, sir." And I said, "Good afternoon." He goes, "Have you been drinking?" I said, "No, I haven't been drinking." He goes, "Do you normally drink?" I said, "No, I very rarely drink." He goes, "Well, what's very rarely?" I says, "Maybe 2-3 times a year. My brother will have a family gathering and I'll drink then." And he goes, "When was the last time you drank?" And I says, "About 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, I had a few drinks." And he goes, "Beer?" I said, "No, I don't drink beer at all. It's I don't like the taste of it. It's disgusting." I had a couple rums and a vodka.
Okay, stop.
What?
Interjection. The guy says beer is awful, and yet he's saying rum is great.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah, I don't like malt liquor of any type.
Okay.
So, but so he goes, okay, so what was going on? And I'm like, well, I said, well, you look to be a certain age, so. And he looked at me. He goes, yeah, I'm not a young man. I said, so you might be able to understand this a little bit better than he did. He goes, okay, well, try me. And I said, do you remember back in the 80s, we had like the 8-bit computers, the Apple IIe, the Atari 800? And he goes, yeah, I had a Commodore 64. And I'm like, oh, yes, I'm in. I am so in.
That's it. I'm saved.
Yeah. And I said, do you remember a game called Flight Simulator 2? He goes, well, I didn't have it, but my friend with an Apple IIe had it. And I said, exactly. I said, when you're driving along Route 40, I said, and you hit the rumble strip, it sounds just like the plane engines in Flight Simulator 2 on the Apple II and the Atari. And he looks at me and he goes, really? And I said, yeah. And I said, basically what happened was I was driving along and I was like, oh, wow, it sounds like the plane. And I pretended I was driving a plane. And he was like, okay. And, he goes, so let me get this straight. You were driving along, you hit the rumble strip. It sounded like an old video game. So you pretended you were flying, you were in this old video game. And I said, yeah. As I'm going up, I'm like going up to 30,000 feet to take the passengers to wherever they need to go. And then when I get to the top of the hill, I'll come right off of it and I'll say, oh no, the engine, the engine died, and go down the hill and pretend that I'm going to my death. And he looked at me, takes a step, and he goes, really? I said, well, yeah. I said, yeah, I guess the big thing is I'm a middle-aged juvenile delinquent. And he looks at me and he goes, I am not going to comment on that. So he goes, do you mind if I give you a field sobriety test? And I says, no, not at all. He goes, do you have any reason why you wouldn't be able to take a field sobriety test? I'm like, well, I have a little bit of a balance problem, but I mean, I should be okay. And he goes, okay. So he said, stand there with your arms to your side and then like lift a leg. And then he has me put my hands back and touch my nose and all that. And he goes, and he says, yeah, he goes, I have no reasonable cause to show that you are driving under the influence. And I said, yeah. I said, as I said, I'm a middle-aged juvenile delinquent. He goes, there seems to be significant evidence to support that conclusion. And he goes, you have no wants or warrants. So, and they'd already looked in the car and they saw all the old computer stuff. So, and he goes, so basically, I'm going to ask you, please don't go flying your plane on the roadway. Technically, it's not illegal, but going all over the road, it kind of scares some people
safe.
and such.
Well,
Yeah.
it's not illegal. They just said the law never thought that something like that would happen.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm the reason why laws are made.
Right. They hadn't thought about that yet.
Yeah, you ever seen one of those stickers that says "Do not do this"? Yeah, I'm the reason for those stickers. And he goes, but yeah, he goes, I'm going to let you go. He goes, please stay in your lane. Don't fly any planes. And he goes, and you have a good day. And I'm like, oh, thank you. You have a wonderful day. And off I went.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably the closest I've heard to a retro computer enthusiast getting in trouble with the law and using a retro computer defense.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
Well, I actually use the I am a middle-aged juvenile delinquent as a defense, and I can get references
like
on
an
that.
admission of guilt.
Yeah. Yeah, I can get references on that.
That is funny.
Metro nuts.
Eric, no, I didn't make the airplane sounds with my arms out. That'd be ridiculous. And Goop Bomb, yes, you have to entertain yourself, especially when you're in a vehicle with no radio.
Oh my God.
So yeah. I got a new radio for the car, and I did the wiring harness because I bought the pigtail to plug it in, and I wired it up the day before. I go to plug it in and look at it. The front two don't have speakers in it, and the rear two speakers were cut. The speakers were physically there. It's just the wires were cut.
There were no wires. Oh God. Yeah. That's funny.
Jeremy, I don't act childish. I act juvenile. Thank you very much.
That policeman didn't have any sense of humor.
Yeah.
Well, no police does.
I think the supervisor understood what I was saying, but I think it was more of an issue of I'm a professional. I've got to act professional, because otherwise he probably would have been laughing, because he was covering his mouth and going like this a lot.
Yeah. So there you go.
Yeah, I was on my way to Joe's house, and then after Joe, I was going to VCF Midwest. This is on my way to VCF Midwest, so my car was filled with stuff for VCF Midwest.
Wow. Yeah, I would be worried about doing anything like that.
So earlier today, I was looking up these. This is just my honey-do list. I was looking up these things.
Is it a lid?
It's a lid. It's a lid for an old Corningware from the 70s or whatever. And as you can see, because it's older than me, it's falling apart or whatever. Of course, was it Javier saying you were printing these with your printer?
Yeah. I love it.
My better 7/8 will not let me do that. So I'm going to buy them online. So I found them online before dinner. This is like at 4 p.m, and they were on Corningware's website.
Hold on a second. Let me show you.
Great. They're like $3.30. Great. I go tonight now because I remember, because I'm just on stream. I'm just kind of hanging out. I go to look it up. They're sold out now. I get them on Amazon for 4 times as much, though.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Procrastination, Joe.
I just wasn't ready at the time to do it because I was busy just before dinner doing dinner stuff and doing this and doing that, taking out the trash and blah, 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 blah.
I don't know.
It's not procrastination in this particular case. Trust me.
Yeah, Goop Bomb says print them anyway. He'll never know.
Yeah. Oh, Good Bomb has not met my husband. Well,
so neither have I. And I've been to your house.
Yeah. He's shy.
So, yeah, this is it. I got this. And the same thing, the lids are broken.
They wear out.
They break, and I have several that have like cracks.
Yep.
So they don't work anymore.
Wow.
So guess what?
Printed a new lid.
Wow.
I printed a new lid.
Did you just download the lid, or did you make your own?
No, I created it. I measured it.
Of course he did.
And I just put it in and wrote, right.
He doesn't exist, does he, Joe? I didn't meet him either. Go back and watch Justin's stream from last night, and you'll find proof on that stream that he does exist.
So
only
you're
your
gonna
word
ask,
for
is
it.
Justin gonna give you that?
Yeah, he's selling it to me. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
We should cooperate and help you. Yeah.
Did you hear about that, David?
No. Well.
So Justin Morgan does a stream Tuesdays and Thursdays. He did a stream last night for Tandy about this Tandy 1400 LT laptop. And he gets the laptop out and he's just looking at it. And 3 minutes in, he flips it over and there's a name on the back of it. And it's my husband's dad.
Wow, small world.
And I'm like, okay, you need to go. So I'm texting him upstairs trying to wait. He was taking a nap. But I went upstairs. I was like, you need to watch this stream right now. And so he hops on. He's like, I don't believe this. He hops on this stream and he's like, yes, that is the computer I played with when I was 6 years old. My dad used that. on a merchant marine ship while he was in the Indian Ocean to talk to me over packet radio using packet radio to text.
Nice.
And he also he used a program called Speech on that, and Justin got that working. My husband used to play with this program on that computer when his dad brought it home when he wasn't on the ship. And he used to like make noises and stuff when he's just this kid in like first grade. Like core growing up memory, right?
And it was sold
and it just
out
randomly shows up on one of my friends' streams. And so I'm like frantically in the chat being like, Justin, you need to Discord me now. You need to talk to me right freaking now. Like immediately. And so after the show, Justin's like, yeah, you can buy it for this much. And I'm like,
I've never seen
$500,000.
Yeah.
I've never seen Joe
You
with
need
so
it,
much
huh?
emotion.
You realize that you probably should not have revealed the source, because if it was a good commercial guy, the price would have like skyrocketed.
Well, you know, and the whole thing just the story of this machine escalated as we were going. I knew immediately that it was his father's computer because his father has an insanely unique name.
Yep. And
so I'm like, oh my God, I know who this is. Justin, you need to tell me where you got that from. And then he told me where the eBay seller was. And I'm like, yep, 100% came from there.
That's wild.
And then I asked Graham about it. That's my husband's name. I asked him about it, and he's like, yeah, so it came from this, blah, blah. And the story kind of progressed. I got more information out of Graham about this computer than I expected to know about the computer. But this extra information in the info about that speech program is what sealed it for me. Wow. Because one of the first core, I don't know, bonding moments we had like 20 years ago was about that speech program. Because you know, we first met, he found out I was into computers and stuff, and he talked about that program. And then what I did is I hunted down that program on the internet and made him a floppy disk so he could play with it again. So that's one of our core relationship memories.
Yeah, that's wild.
And then this came up, I'm like, I must have this computer now. I
Hell
don't care. Give me a number, ship to me.
Yeah.
So it's just And so like all last night, Graham was just like, this is the weirdest thing that has ever happened in my life. This is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, actually, that's something that I start to do now when I get computers. You know, I try to always kind of find out what the backstory of the computer is, and there is some incredible stories. I just got recently, speaking about Kpro, like a Kpro 4 from Pennsylvania, and it was a guy who was shipping it to me. I said, "What's the story behind the computer?" He said, "Well, the computer was my dad's computer. He bought it like when I was a kid in high school." And he told me 3 reasons why the dad bought the computer. Number 1, so that mom could do her Christmas newsletter on it. Number 2, so that I could type my papers in high school on it. And number 3, his dad, who was an electrical engineer, was apparently an enthusiast of guns and shooting, and had designed those electromechanical traps for ballistical studies of bullets being shot through those traps. He told me this whole story. He said, and one of his friends from work had a program, but that was printed out. So my dad typed the whole program without knowing anything about programming, but typed it all up, saved it so that he can then use the program. And let me tell you, what was fascinating about that moment is by him telling me the story as to where the computer came from, how they had acquired it, he kind of got pretty choked up. But you know, that it's kind of there's this whole nostalgia and this whole history behind those computers, and some of those stories are pretty rich. Like the one you just told, you know, it's amazing.
That's amazing,
Sometimes people buy it, they stick it in the closet, and you know, and that's the end of it. But in other cases, the computers were part of a whole story. I think it's fascinating stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing to a movie.
Did you already get the computer, Joe? Or are you still waiting for it?
No, this stream happened last night.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm like,
okay.
Sell the rights, Joe. Sell the rights.
No. So he Discorded me last night. He's like, here's the amount if you want it. I'm like, yep. Figure it out, and we'll figure out how to do it.
You said it's a Tandy 1400 what?
It's a 1400 LT. It's basically a 640 kilobyte IBM PC clone, but it has the NEC V20 processor in it, so it's a little bit faster. But and it also has an overclock mode, so you can run it at 7 megahertz instead of 4.
Yeah,
that's the main difference.
It's basically the same as a 1400 FD, except it's got the V20 and the high speed.
Yeah, I'm seeing a picture of it right here. So that's no hard drive in that, right? Just 2 floppies.
Yep, just 2 floppies. It's the 1400 HD had the the HD had the hard drive in it.
Very cool. Makes me think about my IBM PC convertible, kind of that same kind of look.
And the thing about the 1400 is that on the back of it, it had ISA buses, but the physical connector and the dimensions of the card were not desktop PC compatible. They were specific to it. I think a couple of the 1000s may have been close enough that you could use a card in either, but for the most part, the cards had to be made specifically for it.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Now, had his dad name not been written on it, that would have been, completely ignored, right? That's cool.
Yes. Yes, I can't wait to get that computer because then I'll make my own. I don't know if I'll do it this year because I'm probably not going to get it before the end of September. But I might literally hold it till next year just to do it for September because that is such a cool story.
Yeah, the story is amazing.
Expo on it.
The likelihood of that is
like
the probability is 0. Yeah.
I will quote Futurama. This is the least likely thing that has ever happened.
That's amazing.
Right.
You gonna make a display for it upstairs?
Well, when I'm done with it, I'm gonna hand it to him and be like, "Happy birthday" or "Merry Christmas" or something.
Whatever. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
And then he can do what he wants to with it. If he wants to display it, that's fine. I doubt it. He'll probably put it in his He's got an office. He'll probably put it in his office upstairs.
Hopefully, it's not a defenestration of the said computer. That's very cool. It's amazing, actually.
Late at night, you'll go in his office and he'll be sitting there playing with the speech program.
Yep. Yep.
No, is his dad still alive?
He is.
Oh, good. All right.
That's a whole other very complex story I will not discuss on this stream.
That's okay.
Yes.
That's all right.
I kind of figured that. That's why I didn't say anything.
Amazing.
Cool. So that's very good, man. So
that's a once in a lifetime type of find.
Yeah. I was thinking, I wish I could find my Apple IIc when I was a kid.
If I find one with your name on it, Javier.
Yeah.
We'll negotiate.
Unfortunately, I can't do the packet radio stuff, Gut Bomb, because I don't have a ham radio license. But Graham does. So he can do it. But he's not ever going to be on a stream because he doesn't want to be on live streams. So.
Yeah, but he can be there just off camera so that you can do it.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Have other computers with interesting backstories? No.
I may sneeze. Hold on. I do have a very another computer. Interesting story. The computers, you can't really see it's right here. So I have an Apple IIe Platinum. I acquired this from a lady here locally in my town. Her name is Ghislaine. She was in France during World War II in occupied France near the end of the war. She when France was liberated by the United States, she met an American officer. They got married and moved to here to Ohio. She then got very, very heavily invested in genealogy, and she was using her Apple II Platinum. Well, I'm going to step back from that. She acquired this computer from the local vocational high school, JVHS or whatever it's called. JV, that's Jeremy's Vintage Hill Dusac. You know what? Vocational.
I was going to say that.
When they call them vocational schools. And now they call them career centers or whatever. But it still has the stickers on it for that. But when she retired from there, They gave her that computer when she retired, and so she continued to have this computer. She was doing genealogy on this Apple II all the way up until approximately 2003 or 4, somewhere in that general vicinity. And she was running into literal like limitations of the Apple II's storage capability for all our genealogy records. The genealogy software she was using was bought, then bought, then bought, then bought, then bought, and ended up being Family Tree Maker. The company still existed at that time. They still do. They're part of our ancestry.org or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
She contacted the company and said, "Hello, I have an Apple II," in her French accent, her deliciously thick French accent. "I have an Apple II. Can you help me like make this store more records?" And they're like, "No. However, we will fully support you copying all your data from the Apple II to a modern Macintosh if you follow this specific process."
Amazing.
So this Apple II, where we're lucky, had 3.5-inch disk drive capability. So we took that, put it into a Mac running like 7.6 or something like that with the ProDOS extension, and it loaded the files, and we converted it to HFS. We then copied those files off of that onto a G4 Mac running 10.4 Tiger or something like that, her brand new iMac, and it just imported the files and it was all there.
Nice.
Thanks
Very cool.
to us for how we're actually doing the physical work. We were lucky that we had that middle Mac to do the copy. She let us keep the Apple II.
Very cool.
And there it is.
You got it.
Yep.
Those backstories are always intriguing.
Yep. Javier, you've got to have a cool story. I'm bogarting your.
No. The only cool story I have is that once I used to sell more the Apple IIcs that I used to buy them, refurbish them, and sell them.
Mm-hmm.
And I was contacted at eBay by this guy that he was looking for an working Apple IIc, and he was very specific. I needed to work, blah blah. And I say, yeah, this works and all that. I say, well, my dad needs it because he's in Canada. He was using an Apple IIc still at this day. Well, it was like 5 years ago or 6 years ago for an oil business. So it was the oil business was run on an Apple IIc, and he's broke, and he needed one to just replace it and continue running it.
Yeah.
So I got him the Apple IIc, and he was very happy, and he just replaced it.
Wow,
it worked. So he needed for his job, basically. Yeah. So I was like, wow.
There's a lot of Commodores, actually. I've heard a lot of Commodore stories like that, like mechanic shops that run machineries.
Yeah, it's like the controller for their CNC machine or something. And it's just sitting in this dirty, dusty case. And it's like, just like, all right, we're doing it. I'm one of the Commodores without MT RAM installed.
Yeah. Sometimes what I like also when you get like a machine, sometimes you get some of the original software with it.
Yeah.
And some of those discs contain some personal files that are.
Oh yeah.
Like I remember at one point I bought like a Mac 128 literally in the parking lot of an Office Depot, and I get home, it had a bunch of floppies with it, and some of the floppies were some like IRS tax program from the early 80s.
Yeah.
The guy had used it to do his tax returns, which is, kind of sensitive information, to be honest with you. There were like social security numbers on there and a bunch of stuff, but you could see like all of these tax returns had been left on those floppies or papers from high school. It's sometimes you find some interesting stuff.
Yeah, I bought a Apple IIgs from a guy in Fort Lauderdale, and he gave me all his discs, and there was a lot of tax info and all that, and it was like
personal stuff. Yeah.
So I just erased it. I was I'm not even, just formatted them.
Maybe you're not behind the identity theft that.
Yeah. Ooh.
No, It's interesting.
But yeah, it's interesting. Yeah.
One of
You
my
find something.
Commodore pets is actually from an MIT chemistry lab. It's one of those engraved, I call those like a prison tattoo, on the computer. But it's actually fairly, it's not that obvious. But I love to see the origin of the stuff like that. Where it came
Yeah.
from, what it was used for. It really adds a lot of value to it in my eyes.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's cool to find the stories behind some computers.
So Joe, that the French lady, you said the first name was Ghislaine. Was it Ghislaine?
Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Interestingly, the male version of that name, which is Ghislain, is one of my 3 middle names. It's a very common name in French-speaking places.
That may have been her middle name, and she just went by that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But no, she's like, call me Geese. I'm like, okay. Quack, quack, honk, honk, Geese. All right.
Geese.
That's what you want.
Yeah, it's funny.
No, but she's cool.
Yeah.
She was cool. She passed away about.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She was born at like 23 or 24 or something like that. So, yeah.
She lived a full life.
One of those GI.
My
rights. Yeah.
my father was a ham radio operator, and
she died in 2015.
when I was growing up and learned about packet radio, I kept trying to convince him to get into packet radio so that he'd buy a computer. And he'd be like, "No, I don't need any of that kind of stuff," because he did purely code. Well, when I was about 12, I guess, we were at a store called Delaware Amateur Supply. It
1929.
was purely a store for amateur radio hobbyists.
Mhm.
And they had a Commodore 64 set up there. And it was actually connected to antenna on top of the roof of the building. And I said to the guy, go ahead, Joe.
No, I'm just reading about Ghislaine a little bit more. Her niece is one of my customers. Anyway,
Joe, you're making this up now. Enough.
if it weren't for doxing my customer, I would provide you with proof. Continue.
But I was standing there and I'm like looking at it and I says, "Is this for? Can this do packet radio?" And he said, "That's what it's specifically here for this product to do packet radio." And I'm like, and I said, "Dad, come here, look." And he goes, "What's that?" And I said, "You need to do packet radio." I said, "It's really cool." And the guy says, "Yeah." He goes, "Packet radio is pretty nice because," he goes, "you only need a code license to do it." And he shows him, he turns it on, turns on the radio and does it and tunes in something and then goes on and starts typing on the keyboard and the text starts coming across the screen. And my dad's like, "Oh, it requires a computer?" And he goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Instead of having to do your code, you just type it into the computer and then they get it on their computer and then it comes back, but it just goes over the radio waves." And he flips the switch and you can hear the going across the radio. And he goes, "That's what it sounds like." And my dad said, "Oh, well, yeah, I've heard them before." He goes, "Yeah, that's packet radio." He goes, "They have all kinds of things where you can like connect into a message server or you can actually talk person to person and other things like this." And my dad's like, "Nah." He goes, "I'm not interested in that." Well, we continue on and I don't think anything of it. Well, the next time we go to the store, because my dad went there often. I mean, he probably went there at least once a month, sometimes more. The next time we went there was only one guy working there and the store was kind of big. It was probably about 50, 60 foot deep. And this Commodore 64 is sitting there at the front of the store, like about 20 feet from the front door. and my dad's in the back talking with this guy. So I flipped the switch like I watched the guy do the month before. Flipped that switch, turned around until I heard the dee 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 dee, and then flipped the other switch and turned it on. And then all of a sudden, text starts coming across my screen, and I'm like, "Cool!" And I just type in "hello," and someone says, "What is your call sign?" And I'm like, "Huh?" And they're like, "What's your call sign?" And I says, "I don't have one." He goes, "Well, you're interrupting a conversation. That's kind of rude." And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry." And he goes, "If you don't have a call sign, how are you doing this?" And I said, "It's a demo unit in a store." He goes, "What store?" I turned the stuff off real quick and went with my dad, because I mean, I was 12 years old. I was waiting for the police to show up at the door any second now. I was like, what the hell? And that was my extent of packet radio.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, there's always similar 64 somewhere. Let me tell you, you find them in the oddest of places.
Yeah, because I asked the guy if they had it for the Atari, because I was looking at, because this was before I even owned one, and they said, the guy said, although he doesn't know specifically anything for the Atari, he goes, that there probably is something for the Atari. And later on, I found out that you just need a serial, like there's ones that you just hook up to a serial port, an RS-232, and there's software you run on the Atari, and then you just connect it to the 850 interface to the serial port. So, nice. But this was one that actually plugged into the user port of the C64 itself. So
that's very interesting. Let me tell you, the Ataris for me, that was quite a discovery. I never used Ataris back in the 80s. I never had one, never touched one, and was never really interested in the Ataris until I saw at actually one of the Florida club meetings, somebody had brought like an Atari 400, and I was like, wow, this is kind of cool. And then eventually found like a very nice Atari 800. I think it's a beautiful machine. I mean, the way it's made, even inside out. I mean, the inside is even more interesting than the outside of this machine. And then eventually got like a 600 XL, an 800 XL, a 130 XT. But they are really cool machines. I mean, I'm very, very pleased with it. I'm not so interested in the 16-bit Ataris, like the STs and stuff like that. But the 800,
I like to smoke them.
But they are cool machines, man. And that FujiNet, that Atari FujiNet really expands their capabilities.
Yeah, really big time.
Yeah, I don't like the ST much at all. I prefer an Amiga.
Yeah, I really don't either.
I've never seen an Atari 400. I heard they look pretty cool.
Yeah. Is that who's got one? No. Actually, I don't have a 400.
A friend of mine had an 800 when I was a kid, and that's what I was envious all the time, because he had good games.
Yeah.
And it was a cool looking machine.
It's really.
But I ended up with an Apple II.
Actually, it's better.
The half the reason I was going to see Joe was to drop off an Atari 400 to him.
Oh.
Nice.
It's in the box in Ron's bedroom right over here. So
membrane keyboard on there. Yeah.
Yeah. My very first computer was actually a Commodore Plus 4 in Christmas of '84. And then summer of '85, I got an Atari 800.
Wow. Yeah, for the Atari XL, you should get the new version of the Prince of Persia.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's amazing.
It runs on the basic configuration, or do you need?
No, you need a cartridge that has memory. I'll let you know. I don't remember the name of the cartridge, but they sell one cartridge that has memory. You put it in, and you copy the new game over there, and it will run.
Yeah.
And it is beautiful.
What's really interesting about the Atari 8-bit is I only used the Commodore for a short period of time because there wasn't a lot of information on it, because it went bust real quick.
Yeah.
But the Atari by that point had been out. The Atari had been out for 6 years, so there was a lot more for it. So I started using the Atari more. And I learned actually how to do things with it, do things with the computer on the Atari, and learned how the video system worked. And it was rather interesting because when I was talking to other people about how they would do this or that and find it amazing, and I'd look at them as if they was crazy. Sort of like how people would talk about having one graphics mode on part of the screen on the 64 and then another part of the screen being a different graphics mode, and then either the same or a different graphics mode on the third part of the screen. And I'm sitting there thinking, and they're like talking about how great this is, and I'm like thinking, what's so hard about that? Because of the way the Atari works with the display list, doing that is like simple.
Yeah,
it's like writing easier than writing a basic program. And it's like when I was learning about the other computers and how their video subsystems worked, like the Apple II, the Commodore 64, and the other systems, it was like a whole new world to me, where they only have a frame buffer, so to speak, with memory, and it's just reading from the memory, and that's it. You can't do anything unless you set a bit where it sets the whole screen. And the Atari has a full quote unquote programming language for the video processor, for the Antic.
That's a cool system. Very cool.
Hey, I'm gonna have to stop it right now because I got some things to do.
Boo!
Yeah, very good. Oh,
We
thanks
don't-
for being on, Javier. Much appreciated.
It was good. It was great. I'm a coconut now.
Now you need to get all your upgrades. Here's one.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you
Hello, Javier.
you want to get a 6309 from me or from
Whoever.
Well,
I have extras. I'll just send them one.
mine are not mine. They're the
Oh
company.
no, then
I'd have
Joe.
to
Let him Joe.
get it from Joe.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
But
Just
I will
lend me
send-
the SDC and
I will send you something else as a special surprise in the box.
I'm really, really happy.
Printed with TPU and of a certain shape.
My pressure.
And Joe, I've got one of your blue scuzzes on the way. I think it's supposed
And,
to be here tomorrow.
Thursday at 8 p.m. You want to be on the show, the Game On Challenge Live.
Yeah,
You can-
everybody should go.
Yeah, you can
All right,
be.
guys.
You can use an emulator because most people do. It's all fine. We don't judge.
Okay.
So,
We'll play.
all right.
All right. So everybody, please.
Hit the like button.
Yeah, hit the button, share.
Hit the like button, or Joe will be mad at you. You don't want me
That's
mad.
right.
I was
And
the
comment.
first one to hit it.
Oh crap! I need to go to your stream real quick and do it. Stand by. Hold on.
Do it. Everybody do it.
Pages.
There
on
you
that.
go.
Yay! It's 7 now.
Awesome. Everybody say yes. All right. So thank you anyway. We had a lot of fun. Get yourself a cocoa. And see you next time. Bye.
Bye.